ブルマークの怪獣シリーズなのだ。
レーシングカーだ。
スピードコントローラーでぐんぐん走るミニカードライブゲームなのだ。
お子様の夢を育てるブルマーク。
Godzilla's coming, but it looks hungry.
Maybe I can help.
What can you do?
Tempt his tummy. Tempt your tummy with the taste of nuts and honey. Honey Nut Cheerios combines golden honey with crunchy nuts. Part of this complete breakfast. Try 'em.
He loves them. Look, he's going home.
The bigger they are, the harder they fall for Honey Nut Cheerios.
ゴジラ対キングギドラ。足型シール20枚で怪獣大図鑑がもらえるキングザウルスシリーズポピーより発売中。
Today on Collectible Monsters, we deep dive into the dastardly deeds of the demon deity Daimajin-Verse.
Why, hello and welcome to episode 75 of Collect All Monsters. These people are not in the right order here. Let me get this situated. Welcome to another fine episode, starting out strong. We are, of course, down one member, replaced by another, so Christine can't be here with us today. So Jonathan's taking her place. Our Leslie Chambers just dropped off screen for some reason, but I'm sure he'll be right back. Leslie's in flux at the moment, so he may be popping in and out. You'll notice he's not in when he's back. You'll notice he's not in his normal studio setup. So what we'll do is we'll introduce Gretchen properly soonish, but we have a special guest joining us for the show and tell, which we will kick off with the little special intro video right now.
I have a bad lag. Sorry.
That's okay. No worries. We are here for show and tell.
I'm having a really bad lag. I apologize.
That's okay. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We're good. But the special guest we're going to introduce right now is Mr. Sean Lincolnback, which, I mean, what collector doesn't know Sean Lincolnback, author of the unauthorized Godzilla collectibles book, which I should have had in front of me, and of course the other book, which is in my collection to my right, which I could just lean over and get. The art of Japanese monsters, a definitive English language poster book about kaiju boosters. Sean Lincolnback is here to share some incredibly cool stuff with us. And I guess what I should do is just let you take it away, Sean. What do you got to show us today?
Well, this to me is like Grail upon Grail. As a side note, we're getting ready to launch a new venture, and I think next week David's going to help me properly introduce that. It's called Kaiju Link. We're going to self-host auctions and set sales and allow customers to auction and sell their own merchandise on our platform too. Cool. But we're getting ready to launch it with two things that I think are really incredible. Most people know that vinyls and Marusan didn't really start until the mid '60s. there's very, very few items around that relate to Godzilla from the 50s. And the main things are the manga. There's what I call the Titanic 12. There's a dozen manga that came out in the 50s that are all Godzilla titled that are really the first licensed merchandise of Godzilla. The two that I'm getting ready to show you, I think are really exciting. You know, Logan Paul made big news last week when it came out that he bought the first cover appearance of Godzilla, the science adventure story Godzilla. Paid tens and tens of thousands of dollars for it and talked about it in terms of like his Pikachu card and what a great thing it is and how undervalued and getting everybody excited about Godzilla. And there's no doubt that the manga has been hot for a long time. So we're going to launch, we have the two highest graded copies of what I consider the 1A and the 1B of Godzilla manga. And that would be this one right here. This is the actual first appearance of Godzilla to the public. This is in a Moshiro book. It's the October issue. But as we know, October is actually when they pulled the issue for sale. This actually came out in September of 1954. It was a full 2 months before the movie came out. They were still filming when this came out. So this is literally, there was a radio show where you have to picture what he looks like in your mind. But this is the first actual appearance of Godzilla to the public in Japan. And I think
awesome.
I sent Kyle a couple of
huge.
pictures from the inside. I understand the cover's pretty boring, although it does say Godzilla on it, because they didn't know what they had.
No, they didn't.
So this is a fold-out poster that comes inside the book. And of course, there we go, the train fighter image. This is the very first image of Godzilla that was released to the public. Fantastic. And then inserted inside the manga, there's a 16-page preview of a Godzilla comic, and it's the first comic appearance of Godzilla. And there you go. So you open it up, and inside you've got Godzilla tearing up a building, which I mean had to be a really cool thing for kids in 1954 to see. To me, this is just super exciting. So the magazine's also got an ad inside where it advertises that next month they're going to have the science picture story Godzilla, and it even says on the ad this will be on sale the first week of October. So still a full month before the movie came out. So you really had to be hunting for this as a Godzilla collectible because you hadn't seen the movie. You're just in the dark, but there's this really cool looking gigantic dinosaur tearing up the city. And this is the first appearance. So to correlate with that, I've also got the highest graded copy of the science adventure picture story. And that's going to be going live on the site next week. So we have the two highest graded copies of the 1A and the 1B, the first appearance of Godzilla and the first cover appearance of Godzilla, where he's looking really bad as heck and destroying the city, breathing the fire, holding the plane in his hand. And I'm just super excited to be able to have these and be able to rep them to bring.
That's
fantastic, man.
I mean, if anybody hits the lottery in the near future, I mean, this is something to consider. I mean, take that, Action Comics, right?
I mean, unfortunately, that's about what it is for these. Now, these are pretty much lottery items. So just very fortunate to be able to have not only have a copy, but to have the highest graded copies. It's just something that's really special. So
would it be inappropriate
very
to ask what the cost, like what they're going for, or is it like not something that I should ask you right now? Because I'm curious to see like how much I have to win to be able to, like, you know, secure that piece.
Well, they're gonna, I mean, we'll know next week when the site launches, right? But so they're gonna be a small house. I mean, literally.
Small house.
Yeah.
A small house in California or in the Midwest?
No, in the Midwest, thankfully.
Okay, all right. Okay, just checking.
Not in your zip code.
Or New York City. Okay, just checking because, you know.
So
I like my house. I need to live somewhere.
The record price that has been paid for one so far was just over $80,000. And again, this is the highest grade copy, so it's going to be competitively priced, but it's not going to be cheaper than that.
That's
all right, man. Good to know.
Awesome.
So if you've got those deep pockets in the kaiju collecting community, actually, can you tell us again when that second copy is going up for?
I mean, that's just. I mean, that's the first. I mean, this is the first time anyone sees Godzilla. To me, that's just as cool as history as you can get right there. So, again, it's very cool. I'm sorry, repeat question, Kyle. When's?
Oh, I was just gonna say, can you, for the viewers out there, repeat when they can get on the?
We're gonna go live next weekend. Probably while Dave and I are talking and discussing it next weekend, we're gonna launch it up and let people see it and test it out. He's been helping me test it out this past week, try to make sure we're bug free. And I've waited. I'm going to get his feedback while we're live because I want to hear people's opinions. And
awesome,
we're ready to make changes if need be. And we've got open ears and want to make this a place that everybody wants to go.
Fantastic, dude. That's so cool.
I think it's great. And again, I'm sure the people watching are really stoked that they get to hear that. Like, I didn't even know that was the first appearance of Godzilla ever, like ever. And if Robert Dwyer's watching, that might be a Kaiju Jeopardy question at G-Fest. So, just putting that out there, because that's stuff that people like us who are really into the collecting aspect of the fandom love to hear. This is just great stuff. So thanks for sharing with us.
The early manga is really unexplored and undocumented, and that I will. On the showcase, I got the blog about the Shogun Godzilla and the Aurora Godzilla that people use for reference all the time. And I'm going to keep that going with the Kaiju link. And I'm going to put a blog. The first article is going to be about the early manga and all about the first 10 or 12 manga. So people can know what to look for, what's inside of them, and keep an eye out for them.
That's great. Thanks so much for sharing that with us. And
thank you guys for having me. And, can't wait to hear all about Meijin and look forward to seeing you next week, Dave.
Thanks, Sean.
That's good. Thank you so much, Sean. Right. Well, there is the link. So bookmark it now or save it in your brain meats, because I'm sure that's going to be a big deal, and I'm sure we're going to be talking about it for a while. But we're gonna, let's see. We've got a little shakeup going on here. Gretchen's had some issues with her connection, so she'll be back with us. But because it's show and tell, let's go ahead and do our normal Kaiju collector shuffle here and have Leslie Chambers talk about his show and tell items, and then, like I said, when Gretchen is back, she'll be back and share some cool stuff too.
Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Collect All Monsters. Let me address the elephant in the room. I'm not in my normal chambers.
Ouch.
As a matter of fact, it looks like I'm descending from heaven, which is the exact opposite of what is associated with me. But then again, you know what? I did give Kyle a $500 figure and pay for the shipping for it. So yes, I am a damn angel, ladies and gentlemen.
That's true. That's true.
But now, just to give a brief little goings on what's going on with me. My mom had surgery yesterday. It went well. And we thought she was going to be going home today. I was going to broadcast from her house, but they decided to keep her just for an extra day, just to make sure that she's okay and she's recovering well. And they gave her some medicine that made her sleepy right now. And I was like, you know what? Because I've been with her the entire time, right? And when she started to go to sleep, I was like, you know what? Maybe I can pop in on my Collect All Monsters crew, because that's what dedicated hosts do, ladies and gentlemen. Unlike some folks that normally go missing around this time of year, all the way to September. But I'm not saying no names because you know who the hell I'm talking about. But thank God Gretchen is here. As a matter of fact, when she comes back, Gretchen, you might as well be our female voice for the next few months, because we ain't going to have one. It's like a running joke at this point, ladies and gentlemen. Am I telling lies? I'm not. You know I'm not telling no lies. But it is great to be back here on Collect All Monsters, especially this week with the -0 teaser. Oh my God. Y'all did a great job with that live reaction, I must say. Lots of views.
Thank you. That was fun.
That was a lot of
fun.
I mean, I could have done without the 98 and MonsterVerse and King Kong pot shots, David. But hey, you know what?
Hey, I didn't do anything to Kong. I said nothing about Kong.
You said floating rocks. I know what the hell.
I did say floating rocks. Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay, shut my mouth wide open again.
Okay. And Godzilla finally appeared on Monarch Season 2 to appease all the 4-year-olds who can appreciate a good story. But yeah, this is a great time for us Kaiju fans. You know, Kaiju Brooklyn is next month, but leads over into G-Fest in the summer, which we might get a trailer, a full-blown trailer to Minus Zero by then. And then before you know it, it's going to be November 6th. So, you know, again, we have nothing to complain about. And we're talking about Daimajin today, or Daimajin, or however the hell you want to say it. But yeah, it's great to be back here on Collect All Monsters. And for the past couple months, I haven't had anything to show because, again, tariffs and gas prices has been more of a priority, ladies and gentlemen. But I do have 3 things I want to show off, and they're all from the 70s. My favorite era of Godzilla films, unapologetically. Yes, I know they were made on the cheap. I know they were made on just on a wing and a prayer in a lot of cases, but I do love that era of films. And since I don't have them with me, because again, I'm in a waiting room in the hospital, Kyle, you can just throw up the pictures and I'll just narrate them as we go along here. Of course, it's the X Plus 25 centimeter standard edition of fake ass Godzilla, 1974. And you know what? It took me a while to get this, you know, because at first I was going to get it, but then again, with shipping prices being the way they were, I've been really kind of like cavalier when it comes to like, you know, getting stuff. Because, you know, again, this is, again, from the 70s, you would think this would be in my wheelhouse. So when it did come up for pre-order, I'm like, yes, I'm going to get it. But again, I've been kind of like iffy with that, especially with the space issues I'm currently going through. It hasn't been good. But this popped up on the Godzilla store here in the US for like $200. So
wow, that's great.
Duh. So yeah,
no brainer right there.
Yeah, and I think they are up for. I think they're still up there. So if you want, you know, the 25 centimeter fake Godzilla, it looks really good. Gretchen.
She's back.
She back.
I had to reboot my router.
Oh, look, Gretchen. But yeah, this figure is really great, and it goes great with the 25 centimeter 74 Godzilla, you know, 25 centimeter King Caesar from the film, or even the 25 centimeter 68 Anguirus that can double for Anguirus in that movie. My God, he looked horrible, but still, it is what it is. So get your hands on the 25 centimeter fake Godzilla from the Godzilla store, and you will not be disappointed. It really is good. I'm kind of torn if I like this one better over the 30 centimeter resin kit I have made by Burley Vang. Maybe at some point, maybe I'll come on Collect All Monsters and do like a supplemental stream comparing the two. But either way, if you want it and don't want to have to pay all those extra tariffs and extra fees, go to the Godzilla store right now. He probably still in stock.
Excellent.
Now let's go to the next figure. As a matter of fact, Kyle, you just showed it. So let's go to the year of 1972. Of course, that's a film that Kyle and I have a kindred spirit of loving. And it is Godzilla versus Gigan. And of course, everybody knows.
I see. Oh my God.
You see what I'm talking about now?
Yeah,
again,
I do, man.
Yeah, again, that movie is, again, I know there are better Showa films. I know there are better made Showa films. That movie, again, was built together by Scotch tape and bubble gum and a wing and a prayer, ladies and gentlemen. But again, unapologetically, I love everything about that movie. The stock footage, the stock music, the fact Ghidorah looks like he's drugged, the worn down 72 Godzilla suit. But this suit in particular, this is actually the water suit, the 1967 water suit that was retooled for Gigan in Godzilla vs. Gigan. And again, they dusted off that suit from Son of Godzilla. It was 5 years old. They used it for the water scenes because obviously they couldn't use the main 72 suit for the water scenes because that suit was on his last leg. But they retooled it and they made it like a darker color and made the face a little bit meaner. Even though when you look at this Godzilla and the 72 Godzilla, you can tell it's two different suits. But I've always loved this suit. Greg Benton, if you're out there, then again, he's at WrestleMania, but still, he may watch it later on. But I know he's a huge fan of the 67 and this suit. So I actually had Greg Better from Better's Creation take the 30 centimeter 67 Godzilla figure that I have from S Plus, which is what this was, and have him retool it into the 1972 Godzilla's water suit. And I know I'm probably the only one in the world.
But that's cool. That's awesome. I love that. If it ain't there, you
I'm
got
the
to
only
make
one in the
it.
world. I know, but I'm the only one in the world that requested it. 'Cause even when I told him about this project, he was like, "You sure you want that?" I'm like, "Don't talk me out of it. I want it. I really wanted it, you know." And it kind of makes me wonder what would have happened if they would have used this suit for the entirety of the film. But then again, that film.
No.
That's what I'm saying. Like the film, like the main 72 suit, you know, is already scrutinized enough. So I don't know, you know, but again, this is a 30 centimeter 72 Monster Maker 28 kit of Anguirus. You can automatically hear it in your head, them talking to each other. Come on, let's go. Okay, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, so but again, Anguirus, I wouldn't have took that. I'm like, like Godzilla was kind of a prick during that scene. Like, dude, he's trying. He just went to Japan for you. He came back. Now he's going back again. You talking about hurry up? But again, that's Godzilla for you, ladies and gentlemen.
So next, are you gonna have the 72 version of the Anguirus suit where he's got like the yellow spray paint on his head and the flaky face?
I wouldn't go that far because that is probably my least favorite suit of the movie. Because again, you can tell when that suit is on the screen, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But again, I mean, I love the 67 suit and I love the 72 water suit, you know. And there hardly hasn't been any representations of merch or collectibles of him, not to my knowledge. But I was looking at it one day, like I said, and I was like, you know what? I wonder if somebody can retool it for me. So that's when I contacted Greg.
That's cool. That is so cool. He's a talented young man.
Yes, he is. He tried to talk me out of it, but I was like, look, I got money, so I'm paying you. So just do the damn thing, do what I asked you to do, and make it happen. But I'm glad that Kyle is responding favorably to it. I know the 67 suit is not one of his best favorable suits, but at least I know it's pleasing the Gigan fan in him because we're like the two biggest Gigan fans on this show, ladies and gentlemen.
So I mean, it's like a completist kind of it's tickling the completist thread in my heart here.
Totally. And Leslie, you asked if they represented that suit any other way. There is one kit, and it's just from the waist up, and because I don't even think they had a bottom half to the suit when they did the scene. I think it was just the top half that they executed. But there is I'll find you the link and I'll send it to you. It's a resin kit, and it's just he's in the water up to his waist, so it's kind of cool too. But you've got that. It's damn, he really nailed it.
Yeah, he really did, and all his flaws and all his glory. But again, I love it. You know, I love what he did for it. So again, thank you to Greg Betters for that. And for this last one, got to give another huge shout out to again Greg Betters. He also did another retooling of an X Plus Godzilla figure for me, and I finally got me a 30 centimeter 1973 Godzilla from Godzilla vs. Megalon, my first ever Godzilla film that made me a fan. And this is a retooled Favorite Sculptors line 1974 Godzilla, right? Because remember, the 73 suit is just a modified, the 74 suit is just a modified version of the 73. What I had Greg do was reverse engineer it and turn the 74 into the 73. Because X Plus started off good with them doing X Plus figures in 30 centimeter scale, right? Or at least for Megalon, right? They brought out Jet Jaguar in 2018. 8 years, ladies and gentlemen. Then they brought out Megalon in 2021, which was the figure of the year, if I'm not mistaken. And so ever since then, that's 5 years ago. So ever since then, I was wondering, are y'all going to do the other two? Are y'all going to do Gigan? Are y'all going to do Godzilla? At least Godzilla, at least, right? And so when I was thinking about doing the retooling of the 67 into the 72, I was like, you know what? I have an extra 74. And I sent off to Greg, and this is what you have. You have finally a 30 centimeter 1973 Godzilla. So if you're one of those people out there who have an extra S Plus figure who wants it retooled, all you gotta do is send it to Greg Betters Creation, and he can hook you up with this. And as a matter of fact, he looks great with other figures from Megalon. As a matter of fact, I think I have a Jet Jaguar and a Megalon figure. But yeah, there you go. Yeah, there's Godzilla up against, again, the figure of the year of 2021 with the X Plus 30 centimeter Megalon or Megaro. So this is really, really great. And of course, everybody's almost favorite tag team. I know it's a tag team favorite of a lot of people. But of course, he looks great up against the 30 centimeter Jet Jaguar. Finally together, I have pretty much every single representation of the monsters of that movie in 30 centimeter scale, and I couldn't have done it without the awesome Greg Better. So again, I went 2 months without showing anything, but I was like, you know what?
It's worth the
I gotta
wait.
work my
Worth the
behind
wait,
off,
right?
and yeah, I had to work my behind off to show some stuff because I got tired of waiting. Because normally, what I do, ladies and gentlemen, I refrain from posting pictures of my stuff until I show it on the show. Now that I showed it on the show, now I can flood the group with pictures and all that good stuff. But again, if you want a retool X Plus figure, contact Greg Betters, and he will definitely hook you up with whatever you want. So again, it's great to be back on Collectible Monster. Thank you for the positive, good vibes going to my mom. Really do appreciate it. Gretchen, oh my God, it's good to see you, sweetie. Thank you so much for being here. Again, I don't know if you
Sorry,
heard
I fell
earlier.
off there.
Oh no, you're fine. But like I told the rest of the crew, normally this is around here. This is around the time of year where our normal female voice goes missing. So if you want to stick around for the next 2 or 3 shows all the way into the fall, you're more than welcome to. As a matter of fact, please. No. But thank you.
Show.
Just show up to replace that one. That would make me feel a whole lot
You
better.
guys got to talk about movies, and I'll have something to talk about. Otherwise, we'll be sitting here going.
We always talk about movies.
Yeah, but thank you so much for being here, and everybody in the chat. I can't really see what's going on in the chat, but thank you so much for being here as we discuss the awesome angry chaotic spirit known as Daimajin. So I'm gonna kick it over to my main man down in Southern California, the one and the only, the awesome David Eric Dopko. What's going on, David?
What's up, Leslie? Oh, thank you for that applause. Thank you. So again, I'm sure all of us watching and the crew, we wish Leslie's mom ASAP, heading her way, and it's just a matter of time until she gets home. So getting that out of the way, I guess we'll just jump right into show and tell. And I'm loving this new sort of incarnation of show and tell, because I've got stuff that I've had for a while, but it's kind of appropriate to show it now. So I'm going to sort of start off with a blast from the past. So it is last week, I think it was Thursday, or was it yesterday, the anniversary of a certain Gamera film, my favorite Showa Gamera film, Gamera vs. Barugon, 1966. And I'm going to show you the 25 centimeter X Plus tag team. Well, not really a tag team. They're antagonists, but Gamera and Barugon. And I love these guys. I've had these for a long time, and I think this is sort of unique because this Gamera comes as a crawling position. You can change him up to a standing or a crawling position, and I think that's kind of a first and very unique for an X Plus Gamera. So I'm not really showing it too well, but let me see. Okay, his tongue's getting stuck in my cords over here. All right, there we go. So yeah, it's a really great figure. And I love the fact that I have a crawling Gamera represented. And again, this Gamera to me, of all of the Showa Gameras, his face just looks really angry and mean and looks serious. It's a very serious film. No children whatsoever in this movie. I mean, you know, we're gonna talk about children in the Daimajin trilogies soon. But again, it's probably the most serious entry in the whole Showa series.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on, and then here is the crazy design of Barugon, who shoots the radioactive rainbow from his back, the chameleon tongue that extends and shoots frost and freezes everything, and it just
put that thing up.
They must have had so much fun, you know, creating this monster, and I don't know what they're smoking, but I want some. It's great stuff. I think, Leslie, you have they upgraded this, they redid this figure, and I don't have that one, but this is the original release, the Rainbow of Death. That's correct. But yeah, so that's my first show and tell, because I thought it was appropriate to show this off. You don't see these every day, you know, and no, these aren't the ones we carried back from Japan, Keith. That was the Gamera and Barugon, the squid monster from outer space, but that's another story. All right, so let's put those guys down. All right, let's see. This is kind of something cool too. Like, show and tell for me isn't going to be about all new stuff, as I've made quite clear. I'm still doing my model kit commissions on a very limited basis. And one of our friends of the show, group members, Julian Braxton, asked if I would do a kit for him. And it is a vinyl kit. It is the West Kenji 1984 Godzilla.
Ooh, nice.
So
nice.
I think it's kind of cool that I can show you guys what I'm going to be doing, and then I'll have pictures or I'll show you the finished product before I send it out to Julian. Hopefully I'll send it out to him before our next show, but I'll definitely have some photos to show you in the next show and tell. So Julian, I'm going to make this for Julian, and if this works out, he's got a bigger one. He's got, I think it's a 2001 or 2 that he's going to send me out. He lives in Santa Barbara, so it's not that bad of shipping. So anyway, this is my second show and tell, my next project. And let's see where are we at here. Okay, so Jonathan Portman is an awesome guy, an awesome friend, and an awesome member of our show. And he went to the recent one-up pop-up at Monster Patrol in Los Angeles in Little Tokyo. And he was kind enough to pick this guy up for me.
Oh, that's pretty.
The one, isn't he pretty? The colors are so unique. I don't have anything
I
in my
love that
collection.
color.
Isn't that great, Gretchen? And he's got a little Mothra on his tail.
Oh, yeah, I love that one.
Kind of comes off. I had to shove it on because it kept falling off. But yeah, he comes off too. So I just think this colorway is super unique and super interesting.
I agree.
And Jonathan, I greatly appreciate you taking the time and effort to pick this up for me. So thank you so much. And Jonathan did an awesome video from that visit. So if you want to check it out, it's available on our YouTube channel, right, Jonathan? Or where can they find that? I think you're on mute. You're on mute.
Oh, it's not muted actually.
Oh, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, he's having an issue with the mic there.
It must be issue day today. But anyway, we'll tell you
technical support day.
Technical support day. Usually it's me, so I'm glad it's not me. We'll tell you where you can find that if you're interested in watching. It's very cool. It's very slick, and Jonathan does a fantastic job when it comes to that kind of stuff. And let's see where we're at now. Okay, so is that number 3? That's number 3 or number 2? Okay, so I got all right. So, our other good friend of the show, Nick Sides, approached me and he's like, "Hey, I want to buy one of your Sarujirushi figures. It's a 62, and I have more than one of them, but he loved this colorway." And I said, if I ever find a colorway that I like better, that I'm going to keep, then I'll sell it to you. And then we ended up actually doing a trade. And this is something very cool that I missed out on the lottery when it came out. And it is the Planet X Asia Jiras.
Okay.
And it's a big, clunky, chunky, wherever you say it, figure. And it's beautiful. I mean, you can't really see how amazing the colorway is. And it comes with an alternate head where his frill is ripped off.
Okay.
So essentially, he can turn into a sort of a hybrid Godzilla, like the 64, 65 body and the 66 head. So it's a very cool figure. And like Planet X Asia is doing some really cool stuff. And I've got a few of their other figures, and I'm glad that I was able to add this one to my collection because I'm a huge Jiras fan. You bet your ass I am. All right, couldn't pass that. All right. I mean, come on. I wouldn't be, that sounds like something that Mark would say, right? Mark he's always about the chambers too. Like, oh, Leslie's chambers look good today, and I know Mark's.
Yeah, he does do that.
Right.
That's my joke. That's my joke from about a decade ago.
Yeah. Well, it lives on. Mark breathes new life into it, so he thinks. But we love that stuff. All right. So I got 2 more. One more. 2 more. One more. Where am I at?
I'm not keeping track, man.
I'm confused. All right. So. Where the hell? All right. Well, anyway.
The Showa and Tell police are not in the building.
The Showa and Tell police are not here. Usually that's me. There's Jonathan. He's back. So I'm working on another project, and I started them, and then I kind of got sidetracked. And you might say, well, didn't you build those already? And I actually did, but somebody really wanted to buy the ones that I had. So I'm redoing the Billiken Gargantuas, Sanda, and Gyra. And I've got to the point now where I'm ready for the base coat. So these will be shown hopefully on our next episode of Show and Tell. So I love these. I love Billikens. That it's. I don't know. I keep going back and forth which sculpt I like better, the X Plus or these. But I think these take it
Those are better.
just a little bit. They are better. They are better. Yeah, because
Yeah,
and
those are
again, I can do whatever I want with them. Like I can customize them. And
Gyra seems mad about his midsection a little bit.
Gyra is really mad about his midsection. Well, so Santa's not stoked either. But you know, it just doesn't fit perfectly. But Epoxy Sculpt is an amazing product, and as you can see, you can just make it look like there's no problem once the paint goes on there. So yeah, that's everything that I've got. I think that's 5. If not 4, doesn't matter. There are no police. So yeah, that's it. So we're moving down to Jonathan's next, I believe, correct? Or we don't go right to Gretchen?
We'll do. Jonathan will be next.
All right, Jonathan Portman, you're up, my friend.
Oh, unless he doesn't want to show it
I'm
and tell
sorry.
anything.
I should have asked you. Do you want to show it and tell something or some things? Or
Yeah, I do. I have a few things.
All right.
Okay, cool.
Take it away.
Yeah. So this first one, I just went to visit David and Keith this past weekend in Palm Desert. And upon getting there, David gifted me this cute little Hedora.
Aw, it's so
Ooh,
cute.
sparkly.
It was very
You gotta
sparkly.
get a gift when you come visit Uncle Dave. You know, you gotta have something, right?
He's
You can't keep that
adorable.
empty-handed.
He's so cute.
adorable.
He's adorable.
Good one,
Ooh.
Bridget. Oh, we're gonna
But,
keep you for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get to stay full time just because of that. Anyway.
Ah.
No, but
Damn
thank
sure
you,
does.
David. I really, really appreciate it. This was an awesome little gift, and I don't have a lot of Hedoras in my collection, so it goes right there.
Oh, really?
Very
Oh,
cool.
okay.
I don't, yeah. The next one is actually things I got a few weeks ago, or maybe it was a month ago at this point. I don't know. Time just flies. But I did happen to go. I had a day on a Sunday by myself, and I went to the local Westfield Mall here, and they had some cool shops in there. One of them is a famous chain called Box Lunch. So I walked in there just kind of moseying around, looking at just kind of seeing what they had Godzilla wise, and they had a few things. They had those blind bag things from Tokidoki and Monogram.
Tokidoki.
So, and they're kind of like, I always like to feel around, see if I can figure out what it is. So there was a few that seemed like they were the same, like people clearly were looking for different ones. So I kind of told the guy when I went to the cash register, I had one. I was like, he's like, just one? Because they're buy 2, get 1 free. I was like, yeah, but like they're all the same. I can feel them. I know they're the same. And he's like, well, actually, we have a few more over here that are different. So he pulled me over and showed me. So I was like, oh, okay. So when I got home, I decided to make a little video with them. And I did not know that they were actually magnets for the refrigerator. So, or just magnets in general. So I got myself quite a nice little surprise here. First thing I opened was a 67 Godzilla.
Yes.
Look at his little derpy little face. I love it. He's so cute though. And on the back, it's cool. They have like little Tokidoki Monogram logo stamp here.
It looks
so this
like
was
a
pretty
67.
cool.
They got the mouth right.
It does. I will say, what's really cool about these, especially, and I know Funko's a thing, but like the thing about Funko is a lot of them tend to look similar. In a way, their characteristics aren't that different. Let's put it that way. So I like here that the actual looks of them, they actually go out of their way to make the characteristics a little different and based on their looks. So there's the 67. Here's a Gezora.
Oh,
which is kind of cool.
That is cute. That's super cute.
Deep cuts.
I need to get
deep
one of
cuts.
those. Yeah, that's.
I know. I was kind of surprised when I opened it. I was like, oh, Gezora, cool. And then the last one, we all know and love.
Oh,
Mosuraya.
He's gonna want that one.
I know. Well, I'm gonna have to be on the lookout then at these
go back to
locations.
Tokidoki or whatever it's called.
Box Lunch.
Box
where
Lunch,
they have them on the regular, pretty much. So that was that one, most recent. This next one is kind of funny, David. You did like something from your past because the fact that we're kind of changing show and tell up a little bit in terms of the format. I'm gonna show something off that I call a nostalgia pick because the older I get, like most of us, we get very nostalgic. So this one is very cool. My grandmother, my beautiful, wonderful, sweet grandmother, just turned 95 a month ago.
Aww.
Yeah.
God bless
Thank
her.
you. And she is one of the main reasons. Actually, her son, my uncle, I call him Uncle D, but his name is Jim. He's the one when I was a kid that got me into all this, got me into Godzilla. He showed me the way. All Godzilla, Ultraman, you name it. I would like Predator, Aliens, all of it. All of it.
Destroy All Monsters was your first, right?
Destroy All Monsters was my first. It was off of a recorded VHS tape off the local station. The beginning 10 minutes were missing because he forgot to hit record. So for the longest time, I only knew the movie beginning where they're on the moon base. Like Monsterland does not happen for me.
Snap.
Yeah. So watching the ADV, VHS was pretty shocking for me. I was like very excited. Anyway, I'm going off on a little thing, but in short, not only was my uncle very supportive and my parents, even though they didn't get it, they were very supportive. My grandmother was also very supportive. And while I was not spoiled by my parents, my grandmother spoiled the heck out of me. So whenever she was out and got the opportunity, I don't know where she got this. This had to have been 88 or 89 when I was first getting into this stuff. She brought me back and surprised me with this little guy. I don't know where she got it.
I remember those, yeah.
But I did a little research, and while I'm not entirely sure, I know Baseline. I'm pretty sure it's a Korean knockoff, and it's like either a pencil holder or something, because like the arms open up and it like it can grasp something, or like an eraser holder or whatever. So I have had this, one of the few things that I've had in my collection since I got it when I was a kid.
I love it.
So I've had it for about over 30 years. And surprisingly, it's been in pretty good shape. Not a lot of scuffs or marks on it. I loved it so much that a couple years, well, more like not a couple years, more like 10 years ago, I had to go on eBay and I wanted to know if there were any other colorways of this particular item. So I got myself a brown one.
Oh, neat.
So it says made in Korea. There you go, right on the bottom. Little made in Korea stamp. So yeah. Those are my show and tell. Actually,
do you know what year they came out, Jonathan? Were they like late 70s or 80s?
I don't know, but I'd be willing to bet like either late 70s or 80s.
Yeah.
Like I don't know for a fact, but I put them on one of the groups like years ago, and people were able to kind of help and divulge what it was and where it's from. But I don't know exactly the year, which I wish it would say on one of these.
Sean probably knows, I would think.
Sean probably knows. I do have it's funny, I wasn't going to show this off, but since we were kind of talking about it pre-game or pre-show, I wanted to show it off a little bit because I don't get enough time. I don't get enough opportunity to show these things off. And it's a book. Sean Lincolnback's The Art of Japanese Monsters, hardcover. This thing is a treasure. If you ever have an opportunity to get either this one or the paperback, it is a treasure trove of knowledge when it comes to tokusatsu, lobby cards, posters. I mean, you name it. I happen to have it bookmarked on, just so happens what we're talking about today, Daimajin. So, great book. If you can ever find it, pick it up. I highly recommend it. Ooh, look at a little guy down there. See?
Remember, Jonathan, that was my pick when we did our book episode. That was one of my picks. And
it was.
I just told Sean right before we went live that he needs to update that book soon.
You told him while we were live.
Oh, did I? Oh, okay. Well, I guess I told him while we were live.
Yeah.
Well, I'm telling him again, it needs to be updated because we all love that book.
100%. Here's one last thing, and it's kind of a teaser for later, so that's why I think I'm going to bring it up now. So this, I'm showing off, not exactly a collectible, but something I will be wearing later on in the episode.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
boom,
cool.
Baby.
You're going to have a costume change.
That's strange. Where's that shirt from?
Could have sworn I got it at G-Fest a few years ago. A certain someone was selling it. I'll leave it at that.
Doesn't look like a licensed item.
It's
Did you buy that the year that I was there at G-Fest with Kyle?
I think it was the year after.
It was the year after.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay.
it was the one
2023.
Oh, okay.
It was the last one that I went to.
Oh, nice.
And Kyle, can you refresh
at the new place?
Can you please divulge information of specifics on the design and everything, because I don't want to get it wrong.
Yeah, so basically we are friends with a guy in the collecting community who is also a death metal artist. His name's Nev, and killer collector, killer dude. Shout out to my
cool.
homie.
We love Nev.
Very cool.
Which, by the way, let me just blow myself up real quick. Nev, I'm not kidding when I say I want to come over and see your collection when I come to G-Fest this year. So hit me up.
I think it's a road trip. Let's do it.
But yeah, so that was a design that I wanted to do. Now, I didn't want to do that design specifically, but I was asking him to do a Daimajin metal style shirt to sell as part of the the Kaijucast t-shirt of the month club or something like that. Yeah, so it was I think the third or fourth design in that series. And I remember when we were at G-Fest, when the year Gretchen was there, we were selling that shirt.
Oh, that's right, we were.
That was the first time and it was the first time it came out at the table. Yeah, and what for every single shirt, what I also did was if you ordered it, I would give you an extra. So like the Kaijucast shirt that Nev designed, the Kaijucast logo that Nev designed, that shirt came with a pick, like a guitar pick. And the Tom Whalen shirt came with a coaster if you pre-ordered it. And
we signed that poster.
What we did for the for Nev's Daimajin design was I created a fake band flyer that was like Daimajin playing at Reggie's at 8 p.m. on Friday, and like it wasn't real at all, but I couldn't tell you the amount of people that came up to the table because it's a real club in Chicago. The amount of people that came up and they were like, "Oh, what time does this band go on?" Like I was like, "It's not real. It's not real." It was awesome.
Killer
anyway,
design.
thank you for pulling that out there.
That's great,
Mr. Portman.
Well, yeah, I wanted to shout out because I know it was a wonderful, beautiful thing we did, basically fundraising and helping out.
That's right.
And you know what? We were at that table and I kept looking at that thing and immediately I was like, I'm getting myself one because they were starting to fly off the table and I was like, oh, I gotta get one before they sell out. So I bought one myself. But it's a cool design. I don't have any Daimajin apparel and I don't see a lot of it out there. So it's really cool that it exists in this form. It's a really rad shirt. Love the design. Gotta say.
Agree.
So that's it. That's my show and tell. Excellent. Gretchen, what do you got for us?
I have a few things.
Oh boy.
All right.
Let's see. Okay. I guess
Well,
I'll start.
actually, hang on a second. Before you get going, let me just give you the proper intro because we let Sean go first.
Oh, right.
So if you don't know Gretchen Brooks, Gretchen's my co-host from the Kaijucast many years ago. Good friend, actually, introduced to me through my lovely wife. They were friends, and then I feel like almost immediately once we really started talking, I was like, oh, we're yokai friends. Oh, we're kaiju friends. Oh, you should come on the show. And then I was like, you should be on the show. And so for the last 5 years of the show, maybe 4 years of the show, Gretchen was a constant player in the co-host rotation. She came over for some great movies. She came over for some not so great movies, and we've stayed fast friends ever since. So when we were talking about having someone on to talk about Daimajin, Gretchen was a no-brainer for me. So welcome to Collect All Monsters, or welcome back to Collect All Monsters.
And I've also gone on to other projects.
Also, Gretchen was on a special that Kyle did through Kaijucast, where we did a deep dive into the -1 film, and that was like one of my favorite podcasts I've ever done. That was really
a lot of
fun, and Gretchen was an integral part of that too, because I just didn't want to leave that like unmentioned, because that got a lot of people loved that. That got a lot of views.
That was a lot of fun.
So maybe Kyle, just a hint, we could revisit that when -0 comes out. I don't know, just an idea.
Is there a new movie coming out?
Yeah.
There is. I think so. Maybe.
Maybe. Only a few trailers out there.
Anyhow, sorry, I just wanted to mention
no,
that.
I mean, I've gone on to do other projects with other Kaijucast members, Martin Vavra and I have a show called Check the Gate Podcast where we talk about films and we kind of deep dive films in general. Just, my cat is misbehaving. He and I talk about filmmaking and just kind of film history a little bit we just pick random films that we both just kind of love or want to talk about. And then also I've just been doing, judging films for film festivals. Like I work on 3 film festivals, Portland Horror, HP Lovecraft, and now I'm a film programmer for Crypticon in Seattle. Yeah.
Oh, Crypticon.
I've been busy.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
So right now, festival season ramping up. So I am.
So you're hanging out with Nick and Denise, right? Nick and Denise in Seattle, right?
Yeah. I'm really good buddies with them.
Oh, I bet you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I miss those guys.
So you're not coming back for the next 3 months? You're not coming back for the next 3 months? Is that
what?
So you're not coming back?
Oh, Leslie's just making sure that he's trying to make sure that you're going to come back and be our female voice for the next 3 months of this show.
My best. We'll see what happens.
Since Christine
you will,
may not
right?
be around.
You will.
What you got to show us?
Acquisition. Well, you're talking about you don't have very many Hedoras in your collection. Well, I have quite a few Hedoras in my collection. That was my first kaiju love when I kind of got deeply embedded in kaiju collecting and kaiju films in general. Like that was my first Godzilla film love. I fell in love with. Wow! Do not bite Hedora, please, son. My most recent acquisition, or this is going to be of my most recent acquisitions, but Hedora is my first love, and this first one is a Bandai guy. But first off, I love him so much because he was from my Valentine, and then he is a matcha colored one. I just love the coloration of this guy. Oh, baka, this lighting is terrible, but he is kind of in this beautiful like gold and green like colorway. Cool. That is like just this stunning like drippy, gorgeous, lovely shading. And yeah, I mean, I know Bandai's get some love sometimes. They get them right. Let's see.
Indeed.
What else? Oh yeah. Creature Bazaar there was a pop-up shop thing happening at the mall in the Lloyd Center that was
yeah.
Like I can't remember the name. I think it was like called Gabago
Gravy
or
something, right?
like that. What's that?
Is it that's Buana Spoon's thing,
it was
right? Yeah.
It was, he was there. Then Creature Bazaar was there. A bunch of different toy designers were there. What was it? Mood Poison was there, I think. He had there were some other different designers there, but Draculaser was there, and I got his kappa.
Oh, I love kappa. Oh, that's cool as hell.
He's great looking. I don't know if you can see it very well.
Oh,
that's cool.
He's dope. Yeah, that's great.
He's kind of dope.
Wow.
He's got like a little butt.
A little teeny shell on his back.
Mm-hmm. And then there was these re-releases I picked up because I missed them on the first try, and they're Hedoras as well. But there was, I'm just going to show them together, but they came out. I know that people aren't spectacularly excited about re-releases, but for collectors like me who sometimes miss that first run, it's always awesome to find them. But CCP put these out. This colorway is the porcelain and the oil slick. They are spectacularly gorgeous. Like this porcelain is beautiful and has this like pastel, like with a very light glaze that makes it look like porcelain, but and then the oil slick one has these two tones that are like really gorgeous.
I got nothing but good things to say about CCP's midsize.
Right. And I mean, I've kind of changed my style of collecting. I mean, honestly, I have a lot of like tiny guys. I mean, that was what I was going to say earlier when we were talking about like Daimajin stuff. I have the whole Dai movie series collection stuff, but like I have the Daimajin like little guys
I've got
from
those too. Yep.
Yeah. A lot of
Those are
collectors
great.
have these, I figured, but like
Actually, a lot of collectors don't have those, Gretchen.
Really?
I think they're kind of unique. A lot of, one of the reasons that we decided to do this because a lot of collectors, especially the younger ones, don't know about these films and how awesome they are and what is available.
I'm excited to talk about them.
Yeah. So those are great, and I do have them. I got them from Otaku America. They have.
Oh,
them.
did you?
If anybody's interested in those, they still sell those now. They're still on
I
their
tracked
site.
these down. Gosh, I ended up finding them like in pieces, and then I got like 4 of them in a set. Finally, from one collector. Like, I bought some of them from what's the wife? What is her name? Nobu Monster, actually.
Oh, Nobu from.
Oh, Nobu.
Yeah.
So I got some of them from her
Oh,
because I ended up reaching out to her about like from the yokai monster ones. Like that's how what's a funny small
Nobu
world,
is
right?
so awesome.
This was before they got before the store downtown.
Oh, before the store? Because if you go to the store in LA, she's got this case where the cash wrap is, and it's curated with these amazing small Gashapon size figures. And so inspired me so much that my little small shelf, I patterned it after that, the way she did it. So it's just and there's nothing wrong with small figures these days. Like I'm all about the small figures.
I have a small apartment.
All
let's be
about
real.
the small figures. I got a small budget now.
It's all good.
So that's what I'm
I do
talking
too.
about.
Space is at a premium these days.
Right.
Space is
so I have a collection of like small guys. They're in like those small cases that they're about they're all yay big. But I have the whole movie Dai film series guys, Gameras, all the yokai monster ones, and these guys.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Represent.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Were those released by Marusan and Tomy, right?
Tomy.
Yeah.
The ones I have are from Tomy.
Yeah.
So real quick, Gretchen, we're not mad at recasts. I mean, at reissues, not recast, reissues.
I had read
we're okay with
recast,
somewhere there was a
reissues.
lot of,
Yeah, we're
like,
mad at recasts. We're
on
not mad at reissues,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
Let me get my.
I think some
Clarification is
collectors
important.
have issues with reissues because they feel like
Yeah.
they overvalue some collectors. They overvalue their items, or they associate the value that they paid for them, and then when it gets reissued, that drops the value. But I honestly, that kind of talk can go right out the window for me.
Me too. I just wanted to put that out there.
Like
My
Godzilla
most
on his
recent
tail.
acquisition is this jerk who keeps circling.
He's mad. No, Gretchen, he's mad because he's getting revenge for the cat in the film that gets covered with sludge. So he's like, wait a minute, this is now my
There you
revenge
go.
to bite the hetero that feeds me. or
My
whatever.
moment has
My
arrived.
moment.
Wow.
My revenge.
I know.
What's the cat's name?
Neko. The
This
revenge of
one
Neko.
is Clovis. The
Clovis.
long-haired one is
Clovis's revenge.
Jordy.
There you go.
Hey.
All right.
But thanks for having me on the show, you guys.
It's an
So
honor
good to
having
have
you.
you.
Here. Always a pleasure.
So good to have you. All right, I'm gonna go.
It's you.
Yeah, it should be me. It's better be
hi.
me.
Oh, hello.
Hey guys, what's
Howdy.
up?
Ohio.
What's up?
What's up?
All right, so I have 5 items to show.
Oh.
I guess I'll start chronologically. So I went to Osaka last weekend. I went for a
saw the
friend
pictures.
who wanted me to enter a lottery for him, and so I did that because he paid for my trip basically. So I entered the lottery, but you go to Osaka. If you're going to be there for a week, you got to go around and see stuff. So I went to Denden Town, which is essentially Osaka's version of Akihabara. And there's at least 3 shops that if you're a Kaiju fan, collector, and you go to Osaka, you need to go to at least 3 shops. You need to go to Astro Zombies, where I hung out with Fuji for a few minutes. I went to Anime Jungle. I went to Hirogangu and Mandarake, which they moved from their location up the north, I guess I'd say. They moved to Denden Town.
Oh, I didn't know
And
that.
while I was there, I picked up something that I've been wanting since like 2000, and I never bought it. This was offered loose, so not, mint on card, but this is a Mazinger Z that was designed by Yasushi Nirasawa, who's like one of my favorite Japanese concept artists.
It's kind of badass.
He designed a whole bunch of different stuff, but usually his stuff is very monstery and it's like lots of like video game like characters. But what he did here was he designed this Mazinger Z as if it was created in 1901, I think in Europe too. So normally Mazinger Z has like a little ship in the top of his head called the Pilder. This guy, however, if I can get this off easily, the guy who pilots actually sits in the back, so you could pull it down here, and that's the dude. Wait, can you see it? Yeah,
not really.
That's the guy who's inside piloting. He's got like a whole like he sits in the chest.
Yeah, there he is.
Anyway, I love this redesign. I love Mazinger Z anyway, and this redesign, it literally has been on my like wish list, but it went through one of those classic 90s things where people were reselling it for way too much money, and I was like, well, I'm not interested in paying that much money for it. So 5,000 yen for this loose figure, and I was like, sold. All right, so put that guy back over here. So that's item number 1 for me, is the Mazinger 1901, released by Future, if you're familiar with that company, which most of you should be. Future. Then I have sort of been like on a little bit of a tear recently because I'm feeling like I've got the sort of too much stuff on the shelf back here. All of these guys, and some figures are missing. Not figures, some kaiju are missing. And so I was like, man, why don't I have this kaiju or this kaiju or this kaiju? When back in the day when I was in America and I had that massive collection, I was like, I have one of everything kind of thing. So I have been scoring some Marusan figures from the 90s for reasonable prices. And I never had reason to get a Marusan Ebira, but now I have a Marusan Ebira.
He's on my list, believe it or not.
And I love the colors on him. It's actually, my camera is dulling things up a little bit. He's much more vibrant in person. And then look at this. I also got this cool Marusan Titanosaurus.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's a good colorway.
Let me hear him, Leslie.
Let's hear it, Leslie.
Yeah.
Wait, no, you've done much better in the past. Sorry.
Well, he's in a different location.
Hold on. I expected more. There you go.
There you go.
That was good.
That sounded great, Leslie. Just kidding. And then
That's what life's like.
the last 2 items I'm going to share I got together. Actually, you guys remember when I got these little chibi figures or crane game figures?
Oh, remember?
And so I got this when the Odaiba store opened last year.
Kawaii.
And so recently, well, not recently, they've just continually been releasing new chibi crane game figures like that. There's like King Ghidorah, King Caesar, many Godzillas, etc. So they just put out my boy GMK. So this guy
that's a good one.
Came in. There's two color variations, this one and then a movie poster style, which is like the photo movie poster.
Okay.
But I didn't buy this guy alone. He thankfully in the listing had a companion, and he's amazing. I saw him at the Subaraya convention. This Pigmon.
No, you didn't. Okay, yeah, that's amazing.
Well, I know
that is great.
So she's probably
is
tripping
Keith still
right
watching?
now.
Keith is tripping right now.
Rachel, you need to get me.
Is Rachel a huge Pigmon fan? Like,
oh, dude, Rachel from the Kaiju-Cast is like,
okay, yeah,
like, she was like, Pigmon's like the only kaiju she loves.
No, she loves.
I mean,
That's
the
her
only
main.
kaiju
That's
she
her main.
loves.
Yes,
she's like, Oh yeah, I like Godzilla, but like Pigmon,
I love
everything she made was. We had like, so we would do those giveaways, right, where we would have like we would draw people's names and stuff like that. She made a box that had like Pigmon, that was designed like Pigmon, so you would put your hand in Pigmon's mouth to pull out the names.
It was
So that's how much Rachel loves Pigmon.
Oh,
So there you go, Rachel.
Keith chimed in. Kyle, no, and with the balloon too. Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's so cute.
But here's the
love
deal.
The
He's
balloon.
very
That's
cute.
spectacular.
Yeah.
These are Crane Game figures, and so I paid essentially. Hey, Rachel is watching.
Rachel and Keith right next to each other. How perfect.
I paid like 1,500 yen for this.
Oh wow, wow.
Yeah, for each of them, 15 for each.
That's
so
dirt.
they're very, very, very affordable. So if you, and I mean, they're not entirely small. They're like
No,
pretty
that's
awesome.
big.
I love
That's a
them.
good
So
size.
that's my Showa and Tell.
Excellent. Nice.
Before we leave though, before we go on to our intermission, I should say, David, I believe you had something else you wanted to show for Showa and Tell, right?
Did I?
Yeah.
I think I did. What?
Pretty sure you're going to be involved with the stream coming up.
Oh yeah, I'm so sorry. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Kyle. 60-year-old
You're
brain
welcome.
strikes again. That should be a
Oh,
whole
good.
movie. All right. So tomorrow morning, if anybody's up, I'm going to join Brian Matoshio and a bunch of other dudes, collecting dudes, and we're going to talk about what we think or what we want is going to be happening in the new -0 film. So come join us and have some coffee and kaiju, and it should be fun. 11 p.m. 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and pretty early on the Pacific Coast. So please join us if you're up, and would you like to hear a bunch of grown men talk about a movie that what we want to happen in the movie and what we think is going to happen. So thanks, Kyle. Thanks for reminding me. Appreciate it.
Hey, my pleasure, my friends.
They'll be
My
done by
pleasure, my pleasure. Yes.
They'll be done by 3 p.m.
Right.
No, we won't.
Right.
Leslie knows me too well. No, I got stuff to do tomorrow. No.
Of course. Yeah. Real
what's
quick,
up, Jonathan?
I think it's only an
during
hour
my show-
long, like literally an hour.
During my show and tell, I wanted to show something off, but I forgot. It's not really like mine, but it's something that just came out. And it's kind of like a news thing, but I think it really falls in line with the show and tell theme. I'd like to just discuss it for just a little bit, real quick, if you don't mind.
Take the
You guys don't
stage,
mind.
my friend.
All right. Well, I kind of was playing it really close today. I went, like you guys know, and I'm sure in a big city, LA, especially LA, you have to plan out your day because traffic can be a problem. To go 7 miles could take 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to go to downtown. I wanted to see Nick and James, who are in town, and they were at Monster Patrol. But the reason that Nick was downtown is because our friend Nick Sides has developed himself a new soft vinyl figure through a new company that he founded called Scuttlebutt Toys. And I would like to share that screen. So here is the logo. And this is what I snapped at an art gallery that's right there in downtown. It's going on right now today. I just happened to snap a few photos. Now, Nick has always been a huge fan of like mythical sea creatures, like those huge maps of like the mythical, like European, like sea monsters and stuff.
Legendary sea monsters, right?
Legendary sea monsters. He's obsessed with that aesthetic and those maps. So he wanted to create figures based on those.
They're
and
beautiful.
so I am blanking on who sculpted these, but they are
Liz.
sculpted. Yes. So Liz sculpted these, and
Liz
Kaiju.
did?
Mhm.
Yep.
Right.
And I believe they were pulled in Japan, right?
Yeah, they should be produced. I hope I'm not overstepping my bounds, but I think they're produced by the Marmot Factory.
Yes. And the specific colorways were exclusively painted by Kaiju Canvas. So they are on display and they are available for purchase today. But I just wanted to show them off because I went in there real quick and I thought they were going to be there. And he's like, no, I'm at Monster Patrol. So I like hurried up and ran over there. But I wanted to stop by the gallery. And if you're in the Los Angeles area, I don't know how long this will be going on, but it's at Lux Human, which is on 2nd Avenue, right there near the Japanese Village Plaza. Actually right next to the Honda Center in downtown in Little Tokyo.
Excellent.
So yeah,
beautiful.
That's all. But congratulations, Nick, on that venture.
Absolutely.
I know it's been a huge thing he's been wanting to do for a long time, and he's finally realizing his dream. So very cool, awesome. Anyway, that's all I got.
That's great. That's great. Thank you for doing
that.
That's awesome.
We're gonna do the chat room check-in in just a second, but I did
Yes.
see Rachel asked me a question. If I asked if I still have the Daimajin, he'll be making a special appearance a little bit later. But yes, I do.
There you
yes,
go.
I do. All right, so we're done with show and tell. So I think it is time for our chat room check-in, and I believe that because Leslie is handicapped by his current location, Jonathan Portman's going to take over and shout out to all 41 people watching live right now. You guys are awesome.
Thanks, everybody.
And
we
once
appreciate
we're
you.
done with the chat room check-in, we'll head off to our intermission, and then we'll come back for Daimajin.
All right, so
Take it away,
bear with-
Mr. Portman.
All right, so bear with me, guys. So I'm going to be scrolling and speaking at the same time. So we'll give it a whirl. Here we have Markzilla, Nathaniel Plummer, Ray 2D2.
What's up, Ray?
Kaiju Crusader 1.
What's up, man?
Kaiju Battle. Very cool. Hello.
Mike Vera. What's up, Mike?
Ice Swing 1. Let's see who else we got. Ooh, Scott Hall. What's up, Scott? Matthew Buzel.
Matthew.
What's up, Matthew?
Let's see who else we got here. Ooh, Bagasur. I don't know how I'm not going to butcher this one. Bagasur Gaijin. Oh, Frank. What's up, dude?
Oh, what's up, Frank?
I feel like he changes his username every time he's on, but I don't know.
He's always
David
Frank and I just
Partridge.
went and
What's
saw
up,
Godzilla
David?
2000.
Oh, really?
Like just a couple of nights ago. Yeah.
One
That's
of our
right, I saw
special
that on
guest
Instagram.
stars. Our first special guest star was David Partridge. So, what's up, Dave?
Yes, indeed. Larry, what's up, Larry Latham? How's it going?
Today is Eric Henry's birthday. I'm sure Leslie has a few words you'd like to say to Eric.
Oh boy. What's up, Keith?
Keith Daniels. Can we carry them back from Japan?
Oh, that was what you're gonna talk about Gamera.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
All
Devo 13. What's up? A lot of the same names here. I hope I'm not missing anybody.
Where's Eric on his birthday? He's not watching on his birthday? Come on, man.
I know. What about Robert?
What a
I don't see
perfect
Robert
birthday
in
gift.
here.
Where's Robert? Yeah, Robert's in.
Where's Robert? My
I think
goodness.
I saw Robert in there.
Did you?
Robert is Kaiju Crusader. That's Robert.
Oh, that's Robert.
Oh my goodness. I'm a moron. Sorry. Let's see. I'm seeing a lot of the same. Well, we know Rachel's here, right? And Lady Kyle.
Lady Kyle.
Oh yeah, that's
What's
right.
up,
Lady Kyle
Kyle?
watching from downstairs.
Well, I
Also-
can see Chasing Crystal and Helmy.
Yes. Also, Majin's Beard, who Josh,
yeah.
who's a big Majin.
We knew he was
a
gonna be
Daimajin
here.
fan. He knew he was gonna be here. You had to be here, right? Collector Monsters. Woo! No, it's just. Let's see. I had to get that in there.
Yeah.
What's up, Helmy? How's it going?
Doc the Butcher.
Ooh.
Aw,
KL
Young.
Young.
Beautiful.
I know him.
I do too.
Yeah, you do.
I know that. I know that guy.
I knew that, dude.
What's up, Rachel?
Wait, hold on. Y'all said Rachel. Ain't she the one that didn't really care for King Kong Escapes? I remember that daggone episode. It was her and Martin.
Uh-oh.
And they were asked
Wow.
if they liked King Kong Escapes. She was
Wow,
like,
you come with receipts. Coming with receipts. Something
Yeah, see,
affected you.
I don't keep receipts, so like if you like every once in a while something will check my box and I'm like, what the heck? Like
I remember
remember
that.
when Martin said he didn't like. Sorry to like go back into Kaijucast time lore, but
Please do.
when
Do it,
we were
do it.
doing like the Mothra versus Godzilla Daikaiju discussion, and he was
Yes!
like,
Careful now. Be
I don't
careful
really
now.
care for
Yeah.
the Mothra versus this Godzilla suit, and I was like, are you crazy? Everybody loves this suit. Like,
He thought the King Godzilla was more
outlier.
menacing. He thought the King Goju was a more menacing looking suit. I was like, what?
Disrespect never forgets.
You damn right.
Like Daimajin, right? He never forgets.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get Linda Miller. I'm gonna get Linda Miller on the line. She's, whatever.
I still love you,
Right?
Rachel. We still cool.
We got the real Chug 92,
Jason.
Jason Crystal, Doc the Butcher, like you were saying earlier.
We got a lot of people.
We got a lot of people, yeah. And I believe that's we're at the bottom of the list.
Cool,
so there it is. Welcome, everybody.
Thank you for being
Glad
here.
you could
Thank
be
you
here.
for hanging out while we talk about crazy toys. And we're going to be back to talk about toys, but also movies and more, because the Majin universe is a lot bigger than just the trilogy. So we'll be back in just about 2 minutes. So don't go away. Stick around and come back to Cross Majin's Mountain.
テレビマガジン1月号すごいこちらが火を吹く完全なりきりマスク笛にもなる核レンジャー超忍法帳かっこいいぞパチパチタートルズもこりゃ面白い核レンジャー秘密100まだまだ楽しさいっぱいだよ全員サービスはなんと核レンジャースーパービデオだテレビマガジン1月号発売中
あれはカブトだいやいやセミだちゃうぞカブトゼミだワンちゃんいやワンガルペリカンいやペリリンかっこいいんだから高徳トイスのいただきメカ新発売
あの怪獣は
スターと呼ばれた青春だった力の限りの青春だった時は過ぎゆく時代は変わるそれでも僕らは生きてゆく広い社会の片隅でつつましやかに生きてゆくさあ送ってください君の傑作写真をバンダイウルトラ怪獣大変身コンテスト
史上最強パワー炸裂ミニミニマンのお部屋探しもパワー全開
あなたのお城はミニミニで
Boy, that goes fast.
And now you're in. You're in the show now.
Oh no!
Hello. Little cameo appearance.
Little cameo. That's right.
Cameo.
Oh, cameo, yeah.
That's right. The cameo.
That'll never
She's
get
still
old.
here with us. She's with us.
Never left. All right. Well, okay, so here's the deal. We're going to talk about Daimajin. Daimajin is, there's a lot to talk about. And actually, what's funny is like when we were doing the Kaijucast, we did special reissue episodes where we would sort of like do a Daikaiju rediscussion if I felt like we didn't cover something quite enough the first time around. So Gretchen and I actually have done a Daikaiju rediscussion of the Daimajin series, and I have even more information to share on that, especially since you kind of can't really get the Kaijucast episodes at the moment, which I'll work on at some point.
Oh yeah,
I still have them.
asked me that recently, and I was like, I don't think.
I have people asking me that quite a lot, and unfortunately, it's just one of those things where it's, the Kaijucast, just to sort of like, I'll bring us down for a moment before we bring up into the Daimajin. Like, Kaijucast was something I did for free, and it costs money to host a website, and especially a website where people are downloading podcasts. The bandwidth and the amount of processor storage stuff that gets used for that costs money. So and for the Kaijucast to come back, I'm going to do it eventually, but I'm also going to do it as like sort of a Patreon thing because it needs to get paid for essentially. And And then maybe someday I might actually reboot this whole Kaijucast thing anyway. So we'll see when the time comes for that. But for now, let's go ahead and deep dive into Daimajin. So what we have,
trilling trumpets.
If it could be a staple, there you go.
Yes, Leslie.
One quick thing. The doctor is calling me, so I'm going to have to get up out of here in a few minutes. Would you mind if
Okay.
y'all answer my questions right fast?
Yes,
Like,
let's do it.
fire,
Let's go
you know?
for it. Let's do it.
Oh,
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay.
All right.
Now, again, I've only seen the films maybe once or twice, and they were really cool, but they didn't have enough staying power for me to want to rewatch them. I know I will at some point, but I'm coming at this from a novice perspective because, like David mentioned earlier, there are a lot of people who don't even know who Daimajin is. So I'm coming at this like from their perspective, or somebody like I said who have seen it like once or twice.
Which is perfect, actually.
And so y'all could be rapid fire with this and all the good stuff. But okay, there are 3 films in this franchise, so this is trilogy of Daimajin films: Daimajin, The Return of Daimajin, or Daimajin Strikes Again, aka Wrath of Daimajin. This first question is like a 1A, 1B type of question. Okay, do the movies have anything to do with each other? Like, let's say the Heisei Gamera series, or are they 3 different, separate, isolated stories like the Godzilla Millennium series?
Yes. They are 3 isolated different stories. They have similar parts, but they are not canonically a story.
Okay. Does the Daimajin that appeared in all 3 films, is it the same one, or is it 3 different ones in 3 different locations?
My interpretation of that is that it is the same. The films, the original trilogy, it is the same Daimajin entity. And
Yes.
he is essentially worshipped in different locations around Japan. And so, this is, we'll go into some stuff a little bit further about some of this, but basically that's my interpretation, is that like the one who's on the mountain, while it's a different physical location, and it's not like Daimajin shows up, he's like on the mountain and then he goes away and then he's not on the mountain anymore. He's on the island in the lake. And then he goes away from that, and then he's on the other mountain. Like, it's literally, to me, it's like these are different shrines. Like in Japan, you have shrine, like I'm gonna say hundreds of thousands of shrines in Japan, and each of them are dedicated to, not different, but each of them are dedicated to certain entities or gods. And so there will be some shrines where you can pray to the same one in Osaka that you would if you were in Tokyo or if you were in Hokkaido, And so to me, that's what that connection is.
Okay. The next 3 questions, y'all can just
Well,
go
hold
down
on.
the
Are we
line.
all going to get to answer it or what?
You can get an answer, David. Calm down. Just calm down.
I mean, I did a lot of research on this stuff.
I know, but you got
Now
2 more
what?
hours to talk. You got 2 more hours to talk. You can be
All
fine.
right. All right. Okay. Never mind.
The next 3, y'all can go down the line and give y'all answer to that. The next 3 questions. Okay, what is your favorite Daimajin Rampage scene?
David, why don't you go?
Okay, my favorite Daimajin Rampage, even though they're all kind of satisfying at the end because there's an evil lord who does terrible things to villagers and serfs. And I have to go with the second film, The Return of Daimajin, because I think the actual rampage goes on for the longest of any of the 3. And it's just so satisfying to see Lord Danjo get exactly what he wanted to dish out to Lady Sayori. She was the one who was crucified and was about to be burned alive before her tears brought Daimajin to that scene. And right after he destroyed the entire fortress, he was not going to give up until he got the Lord Danjo himself. And he thought he was going to get away in his boat in the middle of the water, but he sends out some fire that shoots right into the boat, and then he's trying to escape on the mast, and he ends up crucifying himself on the mast, and he gets burned alive. what he was intending to do to Lady Sayori. So I really do think that the second one has the most satisfying like revenge scene for me personally. Definitely.
How about you, Jonathan?
Well, it's interesting. I wanted to sort of bank off something you said, Kyle, about the first question, because I feel like it's interesting how it essentially the three films are somewhat anthology in a way where they don't have necessarily any connective narrative characters, right? All the main character, the human characters, they're all different situations, all different areas, all different locales. But what you said, and I thought this was very interesting, and this will go into this question, is Daimajin being like the same spirit entity embodying every location, basically, like, because I found it interesting, especially after the first movie, and this is going to be my favorite Rampage, by the way, the first film. Everything about how he enters as the little spirit orb, and he just kind of like appears. But to me, the most striking thing about the original, and in my opinion, the most brutal of Rampages, is that you see the demon god representative of even like the atmosphere, the background, the red sky with like the stormy clouds, this very vivid, visceral, like almost like pop art, but like very dark sense of this demon taking revenge on the usurpers, right? On basically the ones who have, what is it, Lord Samanosuke, basically overthrows, the previous Lord. And so to me, like all the imagery, we watched the second one, David, Wrath of Daimajin, and I'll get into that one a little bit later, in terms of one of my choices. But even after we watched the third one, and I still remember the third Rampage quite a bit, the first one to me still feels the most creatively complete because all the camera angles, the canted angles and like the very creative ways he's like punching through roofs and taking things down. It's like, to me, it was like very much chef's kiss. Every moment's perfect to me. And the scale they capture with Daimajin is perfect, especially a lot of those close-ups. I'm sure, Kyle, you will share these images later, but there's very striking imagery. Head-on close-up of Daimajin's face as he's walking through with the red sky in the back. You have him looking, like really shooting his eyes to Lord Samanosuke when he's like cowering before he picks him up. And like, there's just so much really awesome, brutal imagery. That the scene where he's like basically like crushing the guy into the wall. I mean, my goodness, that's like pretty insane to like show that. He's like, the guy's just getting like completely crushed. I just think, to me, that's my favorite Rampage. It feels like the most brutal and visually, and the vivid colors of it all, I just like really gravitate towards that one so much. So that would have to be mine.
It's a tough call because they're all satisfying in their own ways. And I forgot to mention the parting of the Red Sea scenario that they do when he rises from the lake and he's like, I'm not going to just swim over there. I'm just going to make the water go away. So that visual, to me, creating that path through the lake to get to the fortress. Again, I mean, the red sky, Jonathan does have a point. The red sky is pretty poignant. It reminds me of Qui-Gon's kind of sky kind of thing. But the parting of the Red Sea image, the Moses, is just, again, that reference and that puts it over the top for me. And I forgot to mention that when I spoke earlier. But
definitely.
Gretchen, what's your favorite Rampage?
Oh, I thought we were going through his questions quickly, so I was like, oh yeah, Jonathan actually has exactly the one when we were going through these prior to in our chat. This is exactly the Rampage I agree with. The first film for me is chef kisses. Everything about the first film is cinematically perfect in so many ways. I know that like the second film people feel is more of a biblical, like beautiful, like has these biblical epic moments. But for me, the first film has so much more like earnest filmmaking. Like it harkens back to a lot of like uses of more interesting compositing, has more visually striking imagery. I think that even the suit has a little bit more of a more striking imagery to it. Like when your husband just pointed out the eyes on it, you get a deeper focus of his eyes in the first film. And I feel like the actor is getting to emote more in this one specifically. So that also is like that rampage where he slams him into the wall is such a like terrifying moment. That is so spectacular. I 100% agree with you, Jonathan.
Gretchen, something else that is really interesting and why I think this death is the most satisfying at the end, and they're all great, but like in terms of my favorite, the stake that they try to take early in the film, he orders his men to go take down the statue, and they're sticking, and they're sticking the spike, the huge spike in his head, and then he takes that same spike and goes right and sticks the ultimate retribution to me. I'm like, he's taking that thing that they tried to take him down and said, oh, no, this is what you get, my friend. And as he turns around, he's just like, it's so, the blood, he's just like, it's crazy. It's like you said, it's very, in ways, kind of like oddly biblical in imagery, but like very, like the eyes, the emoting. I told David when we were watching it, a couple of scenes where he looks and juts at people. I was like, I do not like that look.
I see that. It's very scary.
Whatever the lighting
in that scene, it's terrifying.
Don't look at me like that. It's like, ooh.
One of the things that Jonathan and I noticed in the films is in the second and third films, they improved something because when he does his transformation, it's not as slick in the first one. They didn't nail it yet. It's a little bit kind of clunky. They really do nail it in the second and third film when he makes that transformation from the benign face of the mountain god into the demon of vengeance. See, that to me, again, that moment too adds so much to it for me. But again, it's tough. They're all like, when you're both talking, it's just amazing. And then I just watched the last one again, and that's a pretty satisfying scene as well. Maybe Kyle will pick that one. I don't know.
Actually, for me, I do think that the third Rampage is my favorite. The whole movie actually is my favorite of the three. I love all three of them. They're all like 100% amazing, but there's something that pushes that third one over the edge for me. And a lot of people don't like the kids in it, but like that's not for some reason. I don't think the kids are that bad.
Those kids are fine. No, I don't. I have no problem with those kids.
My favorite thing about the Rampage though is because it's set on the mountain in the winter, is like that whole snowy effect. You don't see that in kaiju movies that often. No. And so having like Daimajin show up from the snow and then like go attack the sulfur pits with everybody, like that to me is my favorite of the Rampages. But to answer you guys have all pretty much answered the other question too, which is your favorite final boss kill scene. And like I'd say the first one with that spike because of that that's pretty retribution. That is like such a good revenge plot point to take the spike that you are hammering into the statue's head and just bam. Oh god, I love it.
And the look he gives before he does it, he like does this and then the eyes get wide and then boom. I'm like, dude knows he's done, but like it's the anticipation. I'm like, he has to, like, it has to be brutal for him. Like, not that we care, like we're loving it, but like even the shot of where he's carrying him right past the prince and the princess, and they're just like, they're seeing him in horror as he's just like struggling. That's a really interesting shot. You don't see a lot of shots overhead, sort of like at that angle. Like they're usually like low looking up, right? But like that's just a really cool shot, and you don't see a lot of that very often. Of like an actual big hand like carrying stuff, or the way they did it was probably pretty interesting, but very cool.
I love these movies so much. If you're watching, and you have not seen the Daimajin series, do yourself a favor and pick them up. Like they were released through Arrow on Blu-ray.
And Mill Creek as well.
Even before that, they were Mill Creek, and the Mill Creek set is actually pretty damn good.
Pretty good. That's the one that I have actually. Yeah.
An ADV before that, right? They did. I remember my uncle had VHS tapes of those or something.
And if you think about it, all three boss kills have something to do with what the boss wanted to do to the people. Like he gets stabbed. I thought he was going to drown him in the sulfur, but he stabs him with he finally uses his sword, stabs him, and then he lets him fall down into the sulfur pit. So every single boss kill is related to what the boss was going to do to horrible thing he was going to do to the people. So I love that they did that. And like Kyle said, they're all great. And there's just a little preference of which one we like best.
Yeah, and what is not lacking in these films, and we can all agree on this, the imagery is phenomenal. They went above. I feel like they went above and beyond. And David, we even watched like the special features.
We did.
And while they're talking about the making of, the creators knew what they wanted to make. They knew what they were going for and what audience they were trying to gravitate towards, and they went all out. Like they're like, we're gonna do our very, very best to go even beyond what we've done with Gamera to try to make these films last, like have a lasting legacy. And you could tell in the effort and what they've done, even in the short time span on a year, you have 3 movies coming out. But each one is so unique, and the imagery on all of them is so striking. Whether you have the red backdrops from the first one, whether you have the amazing imagery from when, I forget the Lord's name, but he's out in the boat escaping at the end, and you see that shot in the distance as Daimajin is like staring him down on the beach on the shoreline. This stuff is like, the imagery is just awesome. Kyle, in the third movie, he's walking, he's wading through the snow, and normally you'd see a statue like creature like that walking, and it can be kind of like stale, but the way they have it presented is so dynamic, I think, and it captures how massive Daimajin is and how like fierce it is as an entity, and that's what they really capture in all those films. Anyway, that's it.
Well, y'all pretty much answered the rest of the questions, so I don't have any more questions, but I'm going to take my leave, ladies and gentlemen. Again, thank you so much for having me pop in for a few minutes. Again,
say hello to your mom for us.
Yes, please.
I hope speedy recovery.
Thank you for the
positive healing vibes.
Thank you for the good vibes, and thank you for everybody for showing up. Really appreciate it. And I'm turn the show over to these awesome, wonderful people. Gretchen, please come back. Like no cap. Please come back. We'd love to have you back. And
no cap, huh? Okay.
Yeah. Wow. And I will definitely see y'all again. Oh yeah. I'm hitting that Afro lingo.
Lovely.
Yeah. But I'll say all y'all next month when we talk about Mothra next month.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes.
That's gonna be a good one. That's gonna be a good one.
All right.
Bye, Leslie.
Y'all take
bye,
care. Bye.
Take care,
Thanks.
Leslie.
All right. So
and then
let me
four.
just go back to this here. So allow me to, I'll speed through as much of this as possible.
Shifting allergy right now, so
that's okay.
Yes.
All right. So the Daimajin disquisition. We're gonna talk about everything.
The alliteration is off the hook.
Did you hear the alliteration I did?
Oh
in the
yeah,
intro?
I did. I was gonna mention it. I was like, okay, Kyle, with the alliteration is popping today. I like it.
I did a little bit of writing for this. Okay, so
you were like,
so the Daimajin disquisition. I actually, let's see, where is my keynote there? Okay, so let's start off by saying all of these movies are set in Japan's. I'm going to try and do this as quick as possible. So please feel free to pop in with a question if you have it. But these were all set in Japan's Sengoku era, which are the era of warring states from 1467 to 1615. All 3 of the films follow a basic formula of samurai drama, kaiju destruction, and most importantly, revenge. But what is Daimajin? These Daimajin films, the technical achievements of pulling off a trilogy like this, or pulling off a trilogy this wonderful, is due to many factors, but notable are Daiei's contribution to tokusatsu developments at the time, not just in the Gamera series. Daiei's access to jidaigeki, or samurai drama costumes and set pieces, and the second kaiju boom that basically started in 1966 with Ultra Q, Ultraman, the Godzilla series, the Toho special effects series, and these series as well. Because that Kaiju boom would continue into 1967, where basically every single major studio would be making their own Kaiju movie. Let's talk a little bit about the design of Daimajin, because you might look at him and say, yeah, looks kind of like a samurai. Nay. He is not a samurai. Daimajin is designed after Haniwa, which are clay. Well, actually, he's inspired by not just by Haniwa, but he's inspired by Jotun from Norse mythology, the Golem from Jewish folklore, and of course the Der Golem film in 1938. But visually, he looks like Haniwa, which are clay burial ritual sculptures used in Japan's Kofun period of 300 to 538 AD, and they're not all of them are depicted like this. These are the ones in Keiko armor. So this is what the armored soldiers looked like of that era in Japan. And a lot of times they would say this is like pontificated on. They don't know for sure what these were doing at the burial sites, but people think that they were either set outside of graves as markers, or not just that, but also vessels for the spirits to live in. And if they were armored like these guys here, they were to ward off evil. So Daimajin is portrayed as this sort of ironclad demon who awakens from the stone statue. And often because a sacrifice has to be made. One of the striking features of Daimajin is his eyes. We talked about that earlier. So let me get here. Jumping around. The actor inside of the Daimajin suit. Did you guys know this?
Yes.
The actor inside of the Daimajin suit is a baseball player who played for, his name is Chikari Hashimoto. He played for the Mainichi Orions in the 1950s and retired after sustaining an injury in 1958. He was 5'9", and he also plays Daimon in the Great Yokai War or Spook Warfare. Ooh. And he was also, here's him again, and an older version of him. And in addition to Daimajin, I wanted to talk about the eyes. The reason his eyes are so angry in the mask is obviously because those are his real eyeballs. But the director said, "Do not blink. Gods don't blink." And so he had to keep his eyes open, which is why they look all bloodshot and watery. And it's one of the things people talk about Daimajin. In addition to playing Daimon, which he also had his eyes visible for that too, he was in Bruce Lee's Fist of Fury.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
He's a testament to after being injured, right? Like, so sustaining such a terrible injury and then having a career after that, but also having like that physique. That's what I had read about one of his interviews he talked about.
Yes. Oh. Yeah, and I hope I'm not getting a delivery while Lady Kyle's on the dog walk. Okay, so let's talk about we've got our first film where actually we're not going to go into the plot of these, right? So the plot overview wise, you've got the first movie is the introduction to Daimajin, where of course he is being worshipped. You've got the classic era of warring states situation where somebody's decided, hey, I'm going to take over this feudal lord's domain. The kids escape, yada yada. They grow up, they come back, they decide they're gonna. This is what I think is funny about most of these. Like once the decision is made, They're like, I can't take this anymore. I need to reclaim my domain or reclaim my family's title or reclaim this. They're always horribly outnumbered. Every single time. They're always horribly outnumbered. And so they have to turn to Daimajin for help. Let's see. I'm going to play the trailer because I'm pretty sure this is going to... You're not going to hear the trailer, I think. But, right? You guys don't hear the audio? You just hear me talking?
I can hear it a little bit.
A little bit? Okay. Well,
it's quiet. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. Anyway, if you haven't seen the movies, this is a little bit for you there. I guess
Kyle, I would argue that they're not really trying to reclaim their kingdom. They're trying to save the people that were captured or enslaved. I don't really see it because they're, like you said, they're terribly outnumbered, and even trying to do a rescue is kind of futile because they always get caught because they're horribly outnumbered and their plans aren't really that great.
They do always get caught.
They always get caught. There you go, right there. And it's usually the last resort to save the day is, the god finally says, he's the one that says enough is enough. They've been praying through this whole movie, and now I gotta jump in here at the last minute. So yeah, they're just trying to really save the people that are being tortured or enslaved or captured. So yeah, and then he does all the work for them. Really, I mean, it's just And again, the formula is so satisfying, and those of us who can enjoy the Edo period samurai, life. And go through that and see all the stuff that happens to them. That ending is just so satisfying, even though it's only about 10 minutes of actual, kaiju god action. So
that shot there.
Yeah, and that's I know what you mean about the red sky, and it's very Qui-Gon, mysterious, like that surreal looking. But
some beautiful matte painting. Yeah.
Beautiful matte
paintings.
Oh yeah. And
I
the
love
scale.
The chains as well.
The chains are great. And the fact that he's not so gigantic that you can actually see him go after people specifically. Like Godzilla just kind of randomly steps on people. He doesn't go after people, specifically. But this scale is just so satisfying, and they can get into really great detail with
That's
the miniatures
true.
too. And that's part of the success of these films too.
Oh, look at that face. Wow. I just forgot what I was going to say. I was looking at that image right there. I was like, damn, that's really cool. Oh, by the way, Kyle. So what's really cool about these films, I think non-directly, maybe they figured this had to have been intentional, right? Like you were saying that Daimajin as an entity, it's probably the same one, just being like shepherded throughout different, worshipped in different areas, and then he'll appear, right? But I feel like it's very intentional that the first movie, right, at the very end, after he kills the usurper, he starts to go after the other villagers, like everybody. He doesn't discriminate. And the prince and the princess are like begging him, no, they are not bad. They're not the ones you're after. They are not, it's not their fault. They were being held captive. They're good people. We just want to get back to our life. And it took the princess begging him for the entity to realize, for Daimajin to realize, right, only go after the bad ones. Not everyone is bad. I'm just going after. So I wonder, because the second and third movie, pointedly, he does not go after any other people. As far
that's not true. Wrong, that's not true, Jonathan. The last one, I just watched now. That's why it's fresh in my mind. The beginning of the film opens up where he's rampaging a village, and they're just not doing anything.
But that's right. But I'm talking about the end. That to me is like signaling what the ritual they were having in the first one, where the ritual was, the ancient ritual was, he goes after everybody to appease him so that he doesn't go crazy. To me, that scene was very much indicative of what he used to be like, or what he was like. The end, I'm talking about just strictly the endings, him going after the bad people. He didn't do that in the second and third movie. He only was there to help, and then he would leave or like disappear. So I feel like it's very pointed that in the first movie, he was doing that, and then he wasn't any longer in the future films. So to me, that is further sort of maybe non-direct but direct connectivity that just the character of Daimajin has, the entity has with that series, and not necessarily connected in terms of like the stories or the narratives, just the entity itself.
Well, it's the same spirit worshipped by different people in different locations.
Yeah.
So they in the first film they call him the mountain god, and the second one's the lake god, and I think it's the mountain god again in the third one. But what I was saying before is probably not what you were talking about. Definitely not what you're talking about. But when the third film opens, he's rampaging on some peasants in a village who aren't really doing anything. They're not deserving of, or as far as we know, of his wrath. And the first two, he really only he's dormant until there's an injustice that he has to sort of avenge. So that's why I wanted to ask you guys this specific question. Like, I wonder why they chose to show him on a rampage to an innocent village that not necessarily is needing, is deserving of his vengeance. So how do you feel about that?
I think because he's a god and he doesn't have it's about what offerings are given, and I don't think he has like a dog in the fight. It's a whatever it's not personal until it's personal. Like in the first film, it was personal. They injured him, and he was like, "What?" And
the second one too.
And then by the time we get to the third one, it was because it was a ritual that brought him forth, right?
Well, the third one, the kid sacrificed himself. Really, I mean that
and also the bad guys kill his.
They throw the little totems into the. They kick the totems into the.
Yeah,
they shoot the arrow and kill his hawk.
Oh, that's true too. That's true too. You're right. I forgot about that.
So that also gets personal.
That gets personal.
It's interesting that the first one shows them that priestess is doing that ritual to appease the Majin, to keep him in.
Well, maybe he's just a rampaging spirit, and so they're just like, well, we got to keep him at bay with rituals, and if you mess up his totems or whatnot, just unleashes him.
It's just
maybe
sort of
what you don't see in the intro to the third one is that people had gotten lax in their worshiping of Majin, and so he's like showing them
maybe.
Oh no, you can't forget me.
And maybe that's kind of what I was going for. They wanted to emphasize that
that's a cute one right
going over his mountain is a bad thing, and maybe they went over the fact that the now I'm understanding myself. Yeah. The loggers who were on his mountain who got captured by the samurai, they desecrated the Majin's mountain. So maybe, and then it sets up the whole premise of like, oh my god, we can't go over that mountain because look what's going to happen. So it's just interesting how it's different than the others, and everybody says they're all the same. They're actually not all the same. Each one has its own nuances to it. And the third one is very different than the first two in the way it's played out. I
felt like the second one was very similar to the first one.
It was a rehash of the first one.
To a moment where I was like, am I watching the same film for just a moment? That I was like, because I stepped in the room just for a minute and I was like, wait a minute.
See,
it's
actually
very similar. It's very, very similar.
It is, but at least narratively, I do feel like they are distinctly different.
Artistically,
because
we were saying that earlier.
Right, because the first one, it's a usurper. It's an invader of within the actual clan that's being the traitor. The second one, it's an invader, right? There is an invading force coming in to take over. And I was actually going to say this earlier, but we didn't. I don't think we got to the rest of, or maybe that was we just went through the questions. But while the first one is my favorite in terms of the rampage, in terms of the narrative, the second one is my favorite. I love the story of the second one because to me, there's a lot of things going on in the second one. You have the island, you have them trying to blow up the statue, you have the invaders, and the invaders are explained. In essentially, they're kind of explained at first that their kingdom is struggling. So it's like they're coming in to take over and get those resources. But when they do come in, they are very nefarious. They are very villainous. And don't get it twisted. It's not necessarily just about them taking the resources. It's about everything else. That's usually how...
It's about power, too.
Unfortunately, that's how power and colonialism sort of works. When you take over a region, that's what happens. You take it over their industry, it's not going to be pretty. And so I also love the the female lead, I forget her name in the second one.
Lady Sayori.
Lady Sayori, I felt very connected to that story a lot more than the other ones, I would say.
Well,
so
I would agree
narratively
with
speaking,
you
I
on
love
that
the
one.
second one.
I
Love
like
second
the
one.
imagery of the first one. I'd
Yes.
say like effects and imagery and spectacularness of it. I think the first one is way more epic. And
Yeah.
then the second one seems to have the more sweeping narrative. But like honestly, the storytelling in all three films is so compelling. It's written by Tetsuro Yoshida. He was like Daiei's like script guy. He was their screenplay guy. He wrote everything from like all of the 100 yokai stories to like all the Daimajin stuff. He also wrote the Zoichi meets Yojimbo film. So he's like a prolific like storyteller. His storylines are just these beautiful sweeping narratives. So I mean, it's no wonder that like we get so caught up in his storylines. That's just like his beautiful storytelling and his beautiful screenplay work.
And that's a good point, because we're trying to get across to people who maybe weren't like, this is not a go-to film for them because there's not a lot of kaiju action in it, but there's so much going on, so engaging without that. And like I keep saying, it's so satisfying because we get that at the very end. It's just so satisfying. And Jonathan and I did watch the special features, and one guy referred to the films as the first one, the villain is a usurper, the second is an invader, and the third is an exploiter.
Agreed.
So, and that's pretty much the way they go. And another reason I love the second one so much is because the way that they overtake the castle is they commandeer some serfs to present gifts like, thank you for saving us from these evil people, but they're really in cahoots with Lord Danjo, and they hide in the rice
Trojan horse
containers.
style, yeah.
Trojan horse
Very
style.
much so.
And so there's a lot going on aside from just the narratives of the first and the first and the third. There's a lot of samurai action in there. You know, the whole thing with the trap doors and it's just, I don't know, something about the second one leans more towards like historical fiction to me than more historical science fiction, I guess you'd call it, maybe.
Is this the only kaiju films, honestly, that are set in like a period piece?
I'm sure there's
except for Godzilla -1.
Well, I mean, yes, because every kaiju film that was made sort of as this is the modern time. So yes, with the exception of -1, and for before -1, these were the only kaiju films that were set in the Sengoku, or even you could say the feudal era of Japan.
Yeah, wow. And honestly, I would say these are probably one of the more like kind of gory of kaiju films. And quite honestly, now that I'm rewatch them, I'm like, oh yeah, I love these a lot, because I think they're like spectacular more in a lot of ways than a lot of Godzilla, because there's not quite so kid friendly. They're like
not at
very
all.
adult, and I see where they were going, where Daiei was trying to capture that adult audience that was like, they had a lot of Gamera was happening, and then like a lot of kid stuff was happening, and then this was the like, oh, we have all these fans of like period dramas and like samurai films, might as well like
perfect marriage, honestly.
It's a perfect marriage.
I love
it of the two, and those of us who are Japan files, who love history and who love that time period, it's not necessary that the monster is in every frame of the film. And again, I'm always the guy who loves a slow burn. Like, I'm all about a slow burn, and I'd much rather a slow burn than constant action that has no soul. And these definitely have a soul. And again, like I almost
but
like,
they're not slow burns. They're
89-minute
runtimes.
As far as the monster, I'm talking about what a lot of kaiju fans expect in these films. They expect the monster to come on right away. And or the creature or
like
whatever,
30 minutes in or whatever. Yeah,
he doesn't show up until the last 10 minutes. He's like little bits and pieces here and there. But I think for me, as a film watcher, film aficionado, I love that. That's so satisfying to me. But again, if we can get 5 people watching the show who have never seen these films to watch them and love them, we've done our job well done. Because
agreed.
That's one of the reasons that we wanted to do this, is to introduce this, because like I said, a lot of us didn't get these films as children, and they were a little bit more actually a lot more obscure than some of the other Daiei films. Like the Gamera films were available all over the place, and the Daiei Showa films, aside from Gamera versus Barugon, are very like fluff. I mean, they show some things that are a little inappropriate because Tsuburaya is not there to say no blood, no none of that. But it's definitely the antithesis of the show later Gamera Showa series, I think.
We had sorry. Go ahead. Go with Ray D2.
Yeah, I was just getting. Ray 2DJ brought up an interesting question for the community. Do you feel that Daimajin is often overlooked by the kaiju community?
100%, yes.
Oh, yes, for sure.
Oh,
that's a
definitely.
definite yes.
I feel like
I feel like it's like
100% focuses on Godzilla. Mostly.
Yeah, for sure. Like I feel like because
Ultraman even gets overlooked.
because Godzilla, like Godzilla for the kaiju community, at least in the West, Godzilla has the top banner, and then next billing underneath all the Godzilla series would be Gamera, just because of people knowing him, and then under that would be everything else, including Ultraman. I'd say maybe Ultraman would be a little bit higher than like say, Gappa, Gilala, Daimajin, and etc. But Daimajin definitely overlooked. Definitely shouldn't be overlooked. We're gonna talk a little bit more about other iterations in just a second, but I wanted to really quickly say, because Gretchen asked about the period drama and kaiju films, and I was thinking more of the kaiju films themselves, but we did have some comments. Yep. Well, first up, Robert mentioned Pulgasari from Korea, which definitely is a period drama.
Yes.
Scott Hall mentioned The Magic Serpent, which is a period drama. I don't consider that a kaiju movie, really, even though we did cover it on a
It's more
Kaiju
fantasy
cast.
film, yeah.
I would say that. I would agree with that.
And in addition to that, Birth of Japan, Nippon Kanjo, and Yamato Takero are also
not really a
fantasy
kaiju film, though.
films.
Yeah.
But they're it's
tokusatsu elements, I would say.
It's definitely
tokusatsu for sure, but yeah.
That's going.
There needs to be more, and again, it's the perfect marriage as we've seen, and I've had this conversation with many people from our show and other fans. I would love to see Godzilla set in the Edo period. I would love to see that. I mean, I don't know how to do it. They keep him as not a radioactive. There's no radiation. Keep him as a dinosaur on Odo Island. I'd love to explore that legend, because smaller scale, see that sort of part of the fandom embrace, Godzilla being not contemporary, being set in the past, or some other like giant reptile monster. I think that would be really cool. They did having the one that what's his name did the claymate, the animated one.
Howl Beyond the Fog.
Yes, that's one that's
was
sort
gorgeous.
Of gorgeous, and that's
I'm
what
talking about that on a panel at Crypticon, actually.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, and that kind of thing, but maybe put a Rodan or a Godzilla in there, but not before the radioactivity makes them like, and there's no way they could even like fight back if they were that big and that powerful. But I always love, and that's why -1 and now -0 is so endearing to me, because I wanted to do a period piece. I love that they can do that successfully and get people behind it, because I find that there's a lot of missed opportunities in that realm, I think.
Definitely great points, David. Absolutely. Definitely overlooked. 1000%. And even overlooked by myself for many years. I just never had access. The thing about Daimajin, I feel like it's unfortunate that Daiei then would become, Katakawa, and in turn, really don't think, with the exception of like the movies and the cameos, I really think that even they did not do a very good job keeping this a part of their legacy long term for people. Because for me, yeah, Toho was like that for years too, but I do feel like it's it's unfortunate because of the state of Dai and what happened there, that I don't feel like these films are necessarily like thrown out there for everyone all the time. Like I didn't see them until I didn't see them until like my uncle showed me, but that was years after. It was years later, and then the Arrow set came out, and I was finally able to see them in more detail. But I even overlooked them for many years, and I'm just really sad that I did, because they're incredible. And if, like David said, if you love samurai films, if you love Sengoku era period films like I do and like many other people do, if you love Japanese history and mythos, and you love tokusatsu and you love kaiju, and this is like a perfect marriage. And there's three of them that are unique in their own way. They're formulaic, but to a fault. That's what makes them That's what makes them great. That's what makes them watchable to me.
But also
They were so I was working for a movie distribution company, sort of, when ADV Films announced their VHS tapes. So that's how long ago this was. Probably 1997, I'm guessing. If somebody wants to correct me in the comments, I'd welcome it, because I didn't write that down. But yeah, ADV Films put out the movies on VHS in the wrong order, and then
I forgot about that.
I can't remember. I think they maybe did some DVDs, but they weren't very good quality. So, but they are. I mean, it's one of those things where if you weren't aware of the Daimajin series, it would be very easy for it to just slip under the radar. What I think we should do right now, because I'm trying to think about how the rest of this episode is going to go, is I think we should show off our collectibles, our Daimajin collectibles right now. And then if you guys are amenable to it, I wanted to talk about the other iterations of Daimajin, both official and unofficial.
Oh, good, because that actually would tie into what I was about to say. So,
okay.
Totally.
Perfect.
So, Gretchen, as the collector guest for this episode, you already showed them off, but let's see them again. Let's see your unless you put them too far away.
No, they're fine.
See it.
I can see them again.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow. Full glory here. And I think I couldn't tell you if these were one of each movie, but like this is the stoic face one where Woody kind of before he
gets angry
turns, or when he receives back.
Statue version, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like that's statue version, sure.
And then this is the one of the intense ones where he's actually holding like a sword.
Wow. Nice.
Ooh,
I'm guessing that's the last one because it looks like snow, and he actually uses the sword in the last one. So I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's it. So I would almost say that was like first, second, and third ones.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
And then that's the.
Yeah, that looks like it's
the OG.
Yeah,
these are so good. Yeah. Like they've just so great. And I mean, I should have grabbed all of the yokai like ones to go with, but the and the Gamera ones, because the Gamera ones are pretty spectacular too. They have like one of the Gameras is flying where he's got like the little like coming out the back, and then they have like the ones from the movie. Yeah, but there's the
so for the viewers that may not know this, what Gretchen's showing off, what we talked about before, these were released as a blind box style figures from Tomy and a collaboration with Marusan, who Marusan released the original 1960s Daimajin figures, then that went to Bullmark as well. So the 6, 8-inch, 9-inch figures of those.
Yeah.
So those are like miniature versions of them to match the sort of soul of Bullmark little miniature figures that were sort of very popular at the time. Came out through Iwakura as well.
Are these considered soul of Bullmark?
No, because they were from a different. But
I was gonna say
they're the same size as the soul of Bullmark stuff. I actually bought the Daimajin recently because I was taking notes of what I had from the Soul of Bullmark series, which is mostly just ultra figures, and I went to Nakano Broadway Mall, and I was like, oh yeah, let me get the Gigan and the Anguirus, and
I got a chunk of those.
you know what? I'll take that Daimajin, and then I bring it home. I'm like, oh, I have the Daimajin. I just didn't take note of it because it wasn't with the other figures. So I have a dupe. I should repaint it.
We do that sometimes.
Any other Daimajin in your collection, Gretchen?
No, that's it. That's it. I wish I had more. I haven't found one that really like is screaming yet. I mean, that I've seen on the market for me yet. But we'll see.
Well, maybe after the show, Gretchen, people will be posting, and you'll see something that's like, "Hey, that's kind of cool. Where did you get that?" Because I'm looking to get some more as well.
Yeah, I would like to find a really interesting colorway, like or somebody's repaint of one that would be really like. I'd like to find somebody's who's done a pretty cool painting one. Yeah.
I like
so David, comment. What? Yeah, Mondo would be awesome.
Mondo, Peter, Hector, let's do one. So I actually have two of the same ones that Gretchen just showed. These guys here.
Yeah.
And they're great. And they have the little, Jonathan, we brought these to Palm Springs, took a couple pictures that I posted in the group.
Great pictures.
Really fun.
Great pictures.
Really fun. So these are great. And like I said, you can find these still on Otaku America site. Check them out if you want to get these. Great guys. All right, so let's move on to what we are all here for, the films themselves. I think I want to invest in the Arrow set, even though it's out of print now, but I do have...
Oh, were we supposed to show that too? Oh, my bad.
No. This is
you don't have to.
Whatever.
This is the Mill Creek trilogy. It's just small, little compact, easy to store. All three films, not a whole lot of extras, but it's great, and it's very inexpensive, and you can find it easily. Great quality prints too. All right, let's go on to something that I also got last year from Otaku America. This is the Marmot Parababy.
Oh, cool.
Love that one.
Which is a great size.
Love that one.
And I think this depicts the second film because it doesn't look like there's any snow and there's no spike in his head. So I'm thinking this is the second film. And he comes with a little extra, which Parababies do. The little mountain god sitting in the little stone area above the lake. So I really think it's the second one. I'm not quite sure, but somebody might know.
Does it have a stake in his head?
No, there's no stake in his head. So no. So I'm thinking it's
probably not the first. Yeah, definitely not the first one.
And it doesn't look like snow because usually the ones in the third film have some kind of a white sort of thing on them. So these are great. Marmot.
You got that on Otaku America.
I did.
Okay.
I did. So these are great.
Know.
These are great. Marmot Parababies. Love the Parababies. I had so many and I sold a whole bunch of them and I regret it. Stupid me. Because they're a hot ticket now and they're great. They fit into my collection. They fit almost anywhere. And Daimajin is great because he has no tail. You can shove him right in there. Oh, sorry. I always say shove. Place him carefully in my
respectfully, yeah.
Respectfully. So yes, Kyle. Gotta get that straight. And then finally, the last thing that I have is probably my favorite. The X Plus large monster, 25 centimeter.
So good.
Figure. And again, if you can see the close up of the face, the eyes. They did an amazing job on those eyes. I don't know if you can see it; it's a little blurry.
There you go.
But it's just phenomenal, and it's not really posable, but his sword does come out, and it's perfect. Like when I lived in Seattle, I used to take him outside and play in the snow with him and take pictures in the snow, and he's just completely perfect. I don't think. They did one in 30 centimeter, which Jonathan and I looked at it online. It comes with a lot of accessories.
It's
killer, but it's really
pricey
expensive too. It's really pricey. and it's just a slight. It's 30 centimeters instead of 25. But this is perfect for me, and I'm very, very lucky and grateful to have him. You don't even see these come up anymore on anywhere really. So, photos of Daimajin that we took outside the studio. No, I don't have it handy. It was kind of messed up because that trip they were dressed as Santa Claus. They had like Rudolph nose on one of them and they had a Santa hat on. So you can't really get the whole flavor of what those statues look like. But But yeah, this is the X Plus Large Monster Series 25 centimeter return of Daimajin figure. So, and I believe, guys and gals, that's all I've got. Really, I don't have any posters or lobby cards or anything like that. And like
I'm
Sean
surprised you
said,
don't have like any lobby cards or anything.
I'm surprised too, and I think I'm gonna be on the search for some of those in the very near future, because I'm all like, I don't know about you guys, but when I watch films and I really get into them, I kind of want stuff that is related to those films. Like I'm like, oh, I need to get something now to go with that. But I don't know. That's just my sickness, my collecting sickness that many of us have, and I think we're all infected on some level. And I did
we're
not
all
get
infected.
I didn't get my vaccine for that one. I don't even know if I want one. But anyway,
you don't, because then you'd be immune to getting them. So
I'd be immune to getting them. All right, JP, what do you got for us to see?
Okay, so I don't have much, but we're gonna go with one, and I'm a little disappointed we didn't get to talk about it, but I may just say a little thing about it anyway.
Oh,
nice.
This is a record. This is part of the Akira Ifukube collection of music from not just his tokusatsu films, but pretty much a collection of other films as well, like samurai films, like dramas, and it's they usually go by the year they came out. They kind of lump them in together, which is curious because I see Latitude Zero here, and I don't know why that's in there. But this one has some great cues in it. One of my favorite cues, Daimajin's Ferocity, which is basically his main Rampage theme throughout all three films, and it's like a 5-minute piece, and it's like, and it does like it is repetitive, but it's like purposefully repetitive. And what I love about the music is it, like David, we were talking about since we were watching it, the music infuses some cues from Frankenstein Conquers the World, specifically Terror of Barugon. It's a play on that.
Yep.
And then we have a little bit of a nod to Battle in Outer Space when Dr. Ahmed's being chased out of the UN from the second film when they're going to blow up the statue on the island. And we also have infusions of Atragon in there as well, retooled and repurposed. Now, I also say that as not a bad thing. I think what Ifukube does well in a lot of his films with his scores, even though some may sound similar or the same or vice versa, I think the important thing to realize is that Ifukube it's not copy and paste. It's recontextualizing the music within the framework of the movie and the characters. And what I think Ifukube does brilliantly with Daimajin is he recontextualizes some of these music cues. And actually, the Daimajin theme is in itself, the Rampage, is a lot more original than it appears. And it's so devastatingly like appropriate for the demon god and the wrath of the demon god. I think it's one of his best and appreciated themes because of the sole fact that the films are underappreciated. And I'm not saying that as a negative way. They're just overlooked, like we were talking about earlier. And therefore, I also feel like, much like his work with the Zatoichi franchise, overlooked in terms of the musicality of them. And I think if you look at Daimajin's Ferocity and his it's one of the reasons why it's on this set, right? It's because it's a classic. It's considered part of his premier cues in his history. And I love every second of it. And I could listen to it every day for the rest of my life and be satisfied. So that's all I want to say about that. Moving on to the next thing.
Great.
Yeah. Obviously you guys mentioned it, the Arrow set, artwork by Matt Frank. Now, I gotta say, this was the first purchase from Arrow Video that I ever got.
Really?
Yes. And when I got this, I then talked to Kyle. I remember I messaged him. I was like, so those yokai films, and he's like, dude, insta buy. Trust me. So I got those too. So I had to get those too because I didn't want them to go to print. It's a beautiful set, beautiful films, right? Love those. But the Daimajin set by Arrow and Matt are just like, I mean, the artwork is absolutely incredible for all three. This one
with the postcards inside.
And
so pretty.
The postcards inside. Yep. Pretty cool, huh?
And the special features are fantastic too.
They really are. It's worth it for the special features alone. A lot of good information. There's Wrath here.
There's the third one, yeah.
And then Return.
Yeah.
So like, well, yeah. I don't know why they're out of. I must have put them out of the thing here, but anyway, in this beautiful booklet. Okay, I just realized something.
Who wrote it?
Yeah, these are out of order. No, but so this whole like booklet here is just a treasure trove.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible. Just like so many cool.
That's like worth it on its own. Yeah, with a lot.
I mean, really, the whole thing. I don't want to spend too much time because I know we're like on the move, but great set. By Arrow, loved it.
Didn't someone we know write the foreword for that, Kyle?
That's probably Kevin.
Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't that Kevin
or Ed or somebody?
Ed Gajicheski did the commentary on one or at least one of the discs, and it's pretty complete. It's pretty great. And
Blast from the Past, Jonathan Clements.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of that booklet has many contributors to it.
Okay.
Actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
Forgive me, I don't have time to go through all of them, but
no.
do your research on your own time, and you'll find a lot of great people were involved in this. It's really well curated. It's beautiful. I'm glad I have it. Definitely worth the money, even aftermarket if you can. This next one is unique because, as I told David, I don't really have anything in terms of collectibles. That will be remedied over time. But one of the things that I recently got is something very cool and unique, and I had to get it, and it was not pricey either.
Oh,
nice.
What is that? I don't even know what that is.
Okay,
it's
one of the Eugen sets.
It's a Eugen. It's one of the Eugen sets of a whole series of sets with different diorama action pieces based on the different films. And this one, okay, the reason that it looks like he's reaching in for nobody is because the little figurines that go inside. Well, I got to figure out how to make them stand up, but like they kind of come apart here. And so look at the sculpt. In terms of the sculpting and the detail of these, and this is one of my, and the reason I got this, I was like, first of all, this can go anywhere on my collection because Gretchen, I feel you on the space. My apartment's very small, and David, you know this. My apartment's very small. Space is at a premium, so I had to find things that I can put up that and display that aren't going to take up too much space.
That's great. I would want that. That's fantastic.
So I know where this is going directly up on the bookshelf for sure.
Is that?
But
new? Did you just get that?
I just got this. This.
That's
and
cool.
here are the little guys that go in it.
Oh, rad.
He's like on the ground, like, oh, and he's like, don't grab me and crush me. So yeah, I've got these. They go inside. I'm gonna Gorilla Glue or Super Glue or something. Glue them.
Just use the earthquake tack. The earthquake tack should keep them in there.
You know what? That's a good idea, David. The earthquake tack on your displays. I was like very nervous because I started pulling on the one.
You can't get them up, can you? That's the idea.
I am not Well, like the whole shelf started moving. I was like, okay.
I know. I put it on.
Away.
Earthquakes. I don't want my stuff falling on the ground, so I put that stuff on there. It works pretty well.
Oh yeah, and this shirt as well, which I said I was going to wear. You know,
nice.
But look, Otaku America also has some great stuff, like we were talking about. Like David, I didn't know you got that there, which makes a lot of sense now that I've given what they have on their site. But yeah, that's all I have for collectibles of Daimajin, and I hope I will soon remedy that with more.
Outstanding.
As you should, my friend. As you should. Okay. Well, boy, oh boy, I used to have a lot of Daimajin collectibles. I used to have the X Plus that David showed off. I had a whole bunch of the Kyoto / Zebek.
I had those too.
Articulated action figures, which came with a ton of accessories too. There's just some of the Eugen figurines that were part of the set that Jonathan showed off. I also used to have. I have the tiny little Bullmark replicas, Marusan replicas as well. Let me show you the one in detail. This is what Brian and Rachel got for me one year when they were at a toy show.
Oh, that's great.
This is a beautiful Marusan Daimajin in red. One of the first sort of like super duper colorful pieces that came into my collection, actually.
Very cool.
Set me off on the path, I swear. But
That's what
I
I'm looking
love
for, something like
I
that.
love this guy.
Of a Daimajin.
And then my other prized Daimajin possession that I could show off on screen is this Marusan.
That's so cool.
Yeah. And
statue, yeah.
not only is it the statue version, it's hard to see, but it's made of a clear, translucent green vinyl.
Ooh. That's rad.
So very, very cool. I probably paid, at the time, I probably was like, oh, I'm paying too much money for this. And now with the state of the hobby, I'm sure that would be way, way more. I do have, if I'm going to show it on my phone here, which is a, little bit of a faux pas. I don't like doing this normally.
It's Kyle Red. Yep.
Big poster collector from back in the day. I sold all my posters for the most part when we left America. I actually, the other day, I mistakenly, because what you guys are seeing is sort of what I think of when I think of my collection here. This view from my computer out. What you don't see is everything that's over on this side of the room. And I was like literally looking through my posters, my rolled up posters, and I'm like, oh, damn it. Did I sell that Daimajin poster? No, it's framed. It's on the wall over here. I just was a dumbass. This is the international version of the Daimajin poster. So instead of it being all in Japanese, it's got all the English language on there. And it says, see the horror of a village crushed by the revenge of hell. And I freaking love it. I remember I bought this probably for 5,000 yen back in the day. And it's, I think it's an original.
Nice.
Not really sure. It's not in Sean's book. But there are my collectibles. Oh, no, wait. There's one more thing I wanted to show off. I told you guys about the Haniwa.
Yes.
Well, here in Japan, you can get Haniwa if you want to, but I got myself a little gacha Haniwa guy here.
Cute.
That's perfect. Love that.
And he's almost like a weeble, right? So he wobbles, but he doesn't fall down.
I love
and
it.
It's really, I was like, oh, I got to have this for my collection. In addition to that, I also do have the Arrow box set. I don't have the Mill Creek anymore because I gave it to Frank. And I used, back in the day, had all of the
VHS,
all of the ADV VHSs as well. I love the Daimajin series. Keith asked earlier about the when we went to the not Dai, but we went to Karakawa, and outside of Karakawa Studios in Chofu here in Japan, they do have 2 Daimajin statues. I can't find that photo of us in front of those statues, but when I went in 2011, when I first came back to Japan, I ventured out there and I fist bumped the giant demon god myself.
Oh, that's great. That's better.
So sick.
It's much better. That's pretty big statue.
I love those statues. Yeah.
Gotta go back and revisit those.
They big. All right. So, you guys want to see the rest of the stuff that we're at almost 2.5 hours here? If I just sort of blaze through the rest of the
how many people? We got still people watching still?
Yeah, we still got 32 people who are still hanging on. So
nice.
Oh yes.
Did you guys know about the Daimajin TV series?
I did.
Daimajin
No.
Canon? Yeah, I know you know.
No,
I did not.
I never saw it. I know of it, but I've never seen
I'm
it.
eagerly awaiting your info.
Oh boy.
Okay. In April of 2010, TV Tokyo broadcast a 26-episode series called Daimajin Canon, which features almost nothing from the original trilogy. It's set in modern day. This series focuses on a young woman who's left her remote country village to pursue a life of music in the big Mikan of Tokyo. But ancient yokai heroes seek her out to awaken a much less vengeful spirit version of Daimajin to save the world from a terrible demon spirit called Ipadada. who is hell-bent on death and destruction. This series is Super Sentai meets yokai meets half comedy, half drama that eventually kind of meets some sort of kaiju action in Daimajin with a rock and roll angle for good measure. And I was warned by someone a while ago to not be expecting the original Daimajin. And because of that, I was almost prepared to watch the series, which is definitely nothing like the original trilogy. It's weird.
Whoa.
It's weird, y'all.
It looks
weird.
I was gonna say Attack on Titan at first, but now it's just going all crazy.
This predates Attack on Titan by several years.
No, I know, but it just kind of looked. Those two giants. I was like, interesting.
Yeah, it's not. So that's the main character. That's Kanon.
Oh,
Misaki Kanon.
I've seen that image. Okay, that's where that's from. I've seen that image, like not with no context.
Yeah.
So now I know what that's from.
So Daimajin Kanon. I literally would not really suggest it to people unless you are a completist. If you need to see everything, it's doable. But if you don't need to see everything, it's forgettable. That's my view.
It's like a snapshot of like, okay, this is like an era of Japan, like when we're like starting to do we're trying to do some crossover stuff, right? Like I feel like they were like, well, we have these properties that we can turn into other things. And I think this reaches into that era of that. This is very like, we're trying to like crossover idols with henshin style stuff and like do that Sentai, like this is a little bit of Power Rangers-esque, but not. And also like the power of music will soothe the savage beast and control the Daimajin.
There's a lot going on there.
I think you just lost me on that one. Yeah, that's not my cup of tea.
It's good. Yeah. I'm not gonna say it's great or we did an episode about it, didn't we? I think. Yeah.
It was part of the. I think it was part of the lineup at some point.
I like the concept art.
Yeah, the images, the concept images are great, but
the head's
it doesn't
cool.
sound like from what Gretchen's saying that it's my cup of tea.
It's fun. I thought it was fun.
I was wondering why earlier Majin's beer Josh was saying show some love for Daimajin Ken, and I was like, in my mind I was like, what the hell is that? And then lo and behold, you're like, oh yeah, let me show you this TV series. I was like, oh okay, that's what that's from.
Well, that's what I was saying earlier about the watering down of like a property, right? Like I was gonna say, like it's sad to see like a property get taken into like and dispersed out like that. Yeah,
the power of music.
Yeah, it compels.
It's bizarre. It's really bizarre, and I mean, it really is one of those things where. So actually, what I would say about this is it sort of sets the stage for the next iterations of Daimajin, because whereas the first trilogy, as the trilogy was sort of the standalone, I don't know if it was Amemiya that did that. I've never seen his name attached to it. It might have been, but they bring yokai into this, and so each of these heroes is essentially an item or a animal from back in the day that was sort of like turned into a helpful yokai. So the heroes are let's see, this one, the one at the bottom right, she was a goldfish. The one here next to her on the left, she was a hawk. This was a dog. This is a crayfish, and then this is just a number of different characters that show up in the later episodes of the series. It's weird, and I think for me, I'm just sort of like, I love the trilogy of movies so much. This is so divergent from what that is, that it makes me. I cannot suggest it to people unless you are a completionist. You need to see it because you've never seen it.
That's not bad.
collectible
Designs
wise,
aren't bad.
in addition to the movies themselves, the DVDs themselves, there was a figure that was released by Plex. I actually did pick this up in 2013 when I was there with Lady Kyle. I had it in my collection for a long time. It was sort of very special to me because I was like, man, I've never seen anybody with this before. I'm sure other people have it, but yeah, I agree with Monster Kid Corey there. I love Daimajin explicitly because of the Jidaigeki setting as well. Anyway, so we're going to move along past that because that's not the end of Daimajin. Daimajin came back in the Great Yokai War, Yokai Guardians, which is the sequel to Takashi Miike's The Great Yokai War. Let me just I'll just read the summary of that real quick.
Takashi Miike, nice.
Yeah, Takashi Miike, right? Not the person
right?
you would think of for a
No.
child-friendly
No.
thing. But
No.
let's see. The Great Yokai War, Yokai Guardians, is a tale similar to the previous entry in the Yokai universe, also directed by Takashi Miike. Now, while the 2005 Great Yokai War features a child as the unlikely hero, destined to lead a yokai revolution in order to thwart a vengeful spirit, this film features an unlikely hero. The same thing, the exact same thing. Another child
Ooh, that looks cool.
who has been chosen by the yokai to help lead a yokai revolution to stop this evil spirit from destroying the world of the living. If you've never seen a yokai film, I don't know if I would suggest this. I would also say that in terms of Daimajin, he's sort of just like he's like a cameo. It's not he's not integral.
No.
He is integral to the plot, but he is not as integral as I would like him to be. Also, he is awesome looking.
He sure is.
Yeah, he really does look cool. I mean, if you're a completionist, I would say, or actually, if you're a yokai fan, definitely check this out, right? Because if you like yokai movies, you probably would like Takashi Miike's take on them. They're very fun. This Daimajin was designed by Katsuya Terada, who if you're a fan of what we do here, you may recognize his name because he designed some stuff. Specifically, he designed Kaiser Ghidra in 2004, among some other items. But when it comes to collectibles of the 2021 Daimajin, you can look no further than the official movie merchandise that came out, which include an Emma, right? So a prayer board for a temple, an omamori, which are the amulets that you can get at temples as well. And then, like, what was the other stuff in there? Like a coffee cup, t-shirt, some cookies. It was very, very limited. As far as I know, no one has made a Daimajin 2021 figure or a Daimajin 2021 model kit, despite how cool he actually looks.
It's very cool.
So,
I like that design a lot.
How did that movie
the last thing I wanted to share with this, and just in terms of this specific Daimajin, was they had some really cool displays out in 2021.
That is really cool.
So that's his statue version, and then at some point, in some places, you could go see a large scale version of him. And I think for one of the press events, they had an even larger version of him on display. But yeah, that's gonna do it for the Great Yokai War. But we're not done, folks.
Well,
There's a few more
more
things we want to talk about. There's some Daimajin adjacent things we need to discuss, and we're gonna start with David Dopko's submission there.
Okay, so when Jonathan was here, I made him watch the Return of Ultraman episode, The Demon God Howls at the Moon, which is basically a take on the Daimajin lore. And it's a very interesting story because the captain of the monster attack team goes on vacation, and his parents, his wife's parents, live in this village where they have this festival every winter when the ice freezes over this lake, and it makes sounds like it's the sound of the god, either moving around or walking or howling or whatever. So he goes to this ceremony, and an alien gets wind of this, and the alien decides he wants to take advantage of the mat captain being there. So what he does is he takes the idol statue, the small statue from the shrine, from the temple, and he creates this monster called Kodaigon based on the god, and he's controlling it. And in the meantime, he also captures the wife and the daughter of the captain of Mat. So, and he makes this really kind of scary sound, and he's kind of cool, but he's not really the god. He's just a effigy or a sort of avatar of this alien to pretend he's the god. So, and then the battle comes, and Ultraman ultimately defeats him and destroys that weird, very strange looking alien. I can't remember that alien's name. Grotesque, I think the alien's name is. Grotesque. And it's just very, very, very similar. And that design looks almost like the Showa version of our boy Daimajin, and it's great. I really wish I would have gotten this X Plus figure, because he is very, very cool looking. And I think they did a couple of Sofubi figures as well. But
yeah, I
very fun.
I loved that episode. Like when we watched it, I was a little reluctant. I wasn't reluctant, but like I'm not the biggest fan of Return of Ultraman. I mean, I did it when I got the Steelbooks, I did like an entire watch through of all of them, right? Back to back, almost pretty much.
Which I've been on the kick. I've been doing that recently too.
Yeah, and it's not that I don't like the show, but there was aspects of it that I was just kind of like, but that episode in particular, I do love that episode.
It's
that episode was a lot of it was dark.
It was
oddly dark.
And it's a standout because it takes something that I personally love, Japanese culture and Japanese folklore, and turns it into sort of a pop culture episode. I think that's
great.
A really fun thing to do, and introduce people. Like if you've ever been to a shrine or a temple, you see these little effigies in there, and the alien's kind of smart. He comes and pretends that the god is angry, but it's really just the alien controlling his
like an avatar or something.
Like
it was
avatar,
cool.
Yeah, it's very, very
it
cool.
was you made a good statement there about how like when they would set Ultraman episodes in around like a mythos or a legend, and that is like a really cool way of doing it.
Episodes, absolutely. I mean, you could even take that a step further when you see a Miyazaki film that deals with Japanese folklore and Japanese heritage. I think those are the stronger films in the series. But anyway, that I just wanted to make sure we talked about that adjacent Ultraman episode.
Cool design.
Sort of cool tokusatsu creature.
All right. Also ignore the dates on that. I apologize for the dates being wrong, because that date belongs to our next adjacent, which is August 1st, 1992. Dark Horse Comics Color Special features Godzilla fighting basically an Art Adams reimagined Daimajin called Gekidojin, which shows up as a stone statue and comes to life when someone is sort of killed in sacrifice. And one of the coolest things about Gekidojin, aside from the fact that he sort of just like looks a bit more like an Oni, he's got more of an actual samurai armor situation going on. He has, instead of a sword, he has this big hammer, like this war hammer. And what happens is when Godzilla first sees him, he's small, just like the statue, small, like Daimajin would be compared to Godzilla. And every time he's destroyed, he reappears larger and larger. And so eventually he actually gives Godzilla a run for his money. It's wonderful. Really, really, really great story. Like, actually, probably, in my opinion, one of the best Godzilla comic stories of all time. Definitely the best thing, in my opinion, Dark Horse ever put out. But let's go ahead and quickly move along to the next. And I think, is this the last? Not last, but next to last item to share. If you've seen the 2008 Monster X Strikes Back Attack the G8 Summit, this is.
I'm sorry if you've seen it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, right.
I haven't seen it.
I have not seen it.
This was one of those movies that I was like, oh, cool, Gilala film, and then it's essentially it's a comedy film, and like after 2004, we were sort of, I'm not going to say inundated. That's not really the term to use, but there was just a slew of kaiju comedy movies, and this was one of them. It has a very special character in it. And David reminded me that we needed to talk about this.
Just got to put it in there, even though the Daimajin, and it looks pretty cool. And I had, like I said, I had high expectations. I'm not sure whether this comedy we're laughing at it or laughing with it. Sometimes a little bit of both, but it's not one that I would. Like Kyle said, some of these other ones, I wouldn't necessarily recommend this unless you're a completist.
I have no context for what I'm even looking at. Right now.
I think both you and Gretchen should watch it if you have some time, or if you can't sleep one night, just put it on there.
How about we say it this way? It's essentially like it's a kaiju movie, but
it is
the majority of the discourse happens around. I think 2 or 3 locations, one of which is like a command center style room where the G8 summit is happening. And there is a massively long and uncomfortable comedy relationship between politicians at the time who are played by Japanese comedians. Then there's another group that's out in the world trying to find this Majin statue, kind of like Daimajin, and when then Gilala comes back somehow, I can't even remember how it happens. And yes, Gilala, Robert's correct. Gilala does look great, but the rest is pretty much garbage. Now, Daimajin specifically, if you are wondering what is the deal here, do you know who Beat Takeshi is?
I don't.
Beat Takeshi is a Japanese.
No.
You should. He's an actor in Japan. He's a huge personality here in Japan. Now he's kind of like very old, and he's sort of almost like a parody of himself. But in the early 2000s, he was in Battle Royale. If you've seen Battle Royale, he was like the sort of like teacher, the weird teacher in that movie.
Yeah. Yes.
But he's been in a bunch of different stuff, and he was a comedic actor that moved somewhat similar to Tom Hanks in a sense, not really, but he moved from being a comedic actor to being sort of a serious actor. But this is one of those things he did where I think he basically was like, okay, will you name the monster after me? So Taka is for Takeshi Majin. So
did not know that.
Yeah, and Takeshi's Castle too. That's right, Mark. Yeah. Takeshi's Castle. If you've seen that,
yes.
Yeah. So yes, that's Monster X Strikes Back. Your mileage may vary / watch at your own risk.
The way that they invoke this statue is they do this ridiculous dance, and it's sort of patterned after like a Japanese ritual. Is it though, Gretchen? I don't know. It's terrible, but it's like a train wreck. Like I couldn't stop watching it, but
I kind of want to watch it now, just for I wish I was watching it with you guys though. We could have a good time.
It is,
Jonathan. You and I will have a group watch.
You'll have a good
there
time.
You go. Yeah,
I love the first
be sad
movie.
the whole time.
The X from Outer Space I think is a very quirky, interesting tokusatsu film, and I love it. And this one, I was expecting it to sort of be like it, and the only thing is. It's just the monster looks the same. That's pretty much it. And,
I'm getting Big Man Japan vibes.
No, it's not. Big Man Japan is like it's like a masterpiece compared to it.
Oh shoot!
It is magnum opus compared to this one. Yeah,
Big Man Japan is tongue in cheek, serious.
You're laughing with
played
it,
for comedy,
not at it.
This is literally it is the goofiest, hammy, like it's terrible. Yeah, and he's right.
I mean, it's worth
He's
seeing, Robert. You can watch it, but it's, no. But we had to include it.
Well, I'm glad you're looking out for me there, Robert. I appreciate it.
We did have to include it.
Me, Robert. He's like, Gretchen can watch it.
Gretchen, you can have a horrible time with it.
Right, but Jonathan is sparing you.
If you're curious about what the deal is with this movie was directed by Minoru Kawasaki, and if you're familiar at all with that director, he does nothing but parody comedies.
Yes.
So
yes. Okay, now
Monster
we're speaking
Seafood
my
Wars. He's got a new one called
Yes.
Kaiju Tengoku coming out.
Yes. Okay.
Kaiju Mono, which is like a weird wrestling thing, which I bought, which I don't know really why I bought that. Like
Different time.
Yeah, definitely. Anyway, so worth mentioning. That's about all I'll say. There's one last thing which I wanted to talk about. Daimajin adjacent. You guys remember who played Daimajin in the original series, right? Well,
correct.
He was a baseball player, and there is a baseball player. Well, he's not around. He's not playing anymore. But in the 90s, I think 80s, 90s.
Oh, cute.
This player named Kazuhiro Sasaki played for the Bay Stars here in Japan, and he was nicknamed Daimajin. I'm wondering if it's because of those eyes.
Those eyes.
Yeah, I would say so.
Tuft in his chin too.
The Kirk Douglas-esque.
Well, yeah. I mean,
yeah.
That's he's very intense. Like, yeah. No, that's. I can
Well,
see
David,
it.
you may have heard of him too, because in addition to just being nicknamed Daimajin, he moved from Japan to America and played for the Mariners for many years.
Crying out loud! Isn't that something? Interesting.
Wow.
Anyway.
There you go.
Sports ball, everybody. Let's go ahead and say thank you so much for sticking with us through all this. We're you know what? This is the perfect time to end this segment. Not just the segment, but let's move along. Move along, everyone. We're gonna move along to our collector moment.
That's all.
You ready for that, Jonathan?
Yes, sir.
We still got we lost some people during that one. We got 28 people watching now.
Oh, they were
It's okay.
like,
I might have.
You almost lost me. Yeah, but that's okay.
All right. So yeah. So here's our next submission for the collector moment, coming to you from Jessica Hahn, who's no collector in the community, and also I believe she helps to run a table at G-Fest as well. At least that's what I've seen in the past. So without further ado, the next collector moment featuring Jessica Hahn.
Hey all, my name is Jessica Hahn and I'm a toy hoarder. I'm a toy collector, and welcome to my home. As you can see, I have a very diverse collection of toys, but a good portion of that is Godzilla and Kaiju related toys. Toy collecting really comes from three places, and my story might be a little bit different than most of the Godzilla fandom. It actually comes and is mostly driven by art. I have been into art since I was very young, drawing, painting, sculpting, and even up to this day where now I am starting to paint on toys as well. And then from the second place, it comes from the 80s pop culture. Thankfully, I was fortunate enough to live in the 80s and grow up in the 80s with all the great toys and cartoons and things that were coming out at that time when I was younger. And then finally, of course, it comes from the movies. I actually started collecting toys about 25 years ago. In about 2001, I moved to Portland, Oregon. At that point in time, I was going to school and I was kind of, poor at the time. And so the best way for me to get out of the house and get access to art was by going to First Thursday in Portland, Oregon. And that is, gave me the opportunity to meet artists,
Kyle's shaking his head. You're like,
see
you know
new
what that is.
art, and get to know people as well as try to collect art. How did I get to present day in collecting Godzilla? It obviously is influenced by the movies, and that started by me going to Movie Madness in Portland, Oregon. And
Oh, hell yes.
Another way for me
Shout
to
out.
get exposure and access to other things I was interested in. What is my favorite Godzilla film? Well, my favorite is Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, or Terror of Mechagodzilla. You can make fun of me, but recently I just watched in the past 2 years Space Godzilla. So those are my two favorite characters from the Godzilla fandom, Mechagodzilla and Space Godzilla. In approximately 2020, about 6 years ago, I started getting onto platforms because we could no longer go to stores, right? We had COVID happening. And so I started getting onto streaming platforms and meeting friends. So that's when I start to learn more about the Sofubi platform and how cool it is because of the ability to design such a detailed piece with great colors. You can go anywhere from realistic to all the way to glow or UV, and you can see that a lot of that is where mine goes, is into the colorful and the UV and the GID. The first Kaiju toys I started picking up were not actually Godzilla. They were Komatsu Kaijucast, and these are two of my favorite pieces.
Cute.
This first one is obviously Cthulhu with
I love that one.
Kaiju Megora in sort of a kaiju fight. So it's one of my absolute favorite pieces from Komatsu, as well as this commission piece that was done by one of my friends, Ryan, who goes by Ophelia on Instagram. He just does amazing work, and it's absolutely beautiful. I just want to say a big thank you to all of you in the Collect All Monster Collectors group and the guys who are keeping things running. It's been a pleasure meeting every single one of you. I've had so much fun over the past 6 years going to conventions and making new friends. I hope to see your collections soon, so much love, and see you soon.
Yeah.
Hello, Portlander.
That's, yeah. What's funny though, right? So I don't think she lives in Portland now, right? So
Oh, dang.
But she was there in 2001. I was there in 2001. I don't think we ever
never
crossed paths.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
And
it's
Portland's
really,
such a small town too. That's a problem. Like you would
Yeah,
think
well-
we'd all freaking know each other.
Well, now you know each other.
regardless,
Oh, well.
we know each other now. I actually, I can't wait to see Jessica again. I'm hoping she'll be at G-Fest, but I'm not sure. Yes, love her collection. Red Robot Stinks is her Instagram handle. Go follow her if you aren't already doing so. Jonathan, thank you for your assistance on that video, and Jessica, thanks for submitting your collector moment. Is there anything else we need to talk about?
There is something
go
I
ahead,
would like to kind of continue on with the collector moment. So as you know, we've been doing this new format, and we absolutely love it. It's a little more of an intimate look into people's collections, which we obviously want to see. But David is going to be helping in this future endeavor as well. David's already been reaching out to people, and what we'd like to ask from anyone who wants to participate is a few quick easy guidelines to kind of go through. So number one, definitely shoot widescreen, like 16:9, wide format. That's what we want to look for with those. Try to stay away from the vertical video. Also, we're going to give you a number of questions. Usually it's about, 5 or so. And you will make those videos each individually per question and then answer them in turn. So instead of just doing like one big video with everything in it, make sure you send them individually with each answer. So this is just a little bit easier to organize them. But yeah, and then we'll obviously ask for you to shoot some video of your collection and certain items and stuff. So yeah, David will be in touch. I'm sure he already has been with a few people, but he will be in touch with some more. So yeah, keep posting and keep sharing, because you never know when you might be the next one on the collector moment.
Awesome.
Excellent.
I love this new segment. It's just so good, and it's evolved into this great thing. And Gretchen, please, we'd love to see you be on it at some point too.
My collection is tiny.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Answer those questions.
That's right. It does not matter.
Hey,
it does not
tiny,
matter.
Tiny but mighty. Here you go.
Quality, not quantity, is what we're all about.
I have to say, it was really cute, that moment when she held up those cats. I was like, well, Kyle is actually Kyle on this. Kyle is the reason gave me my first my first Safubi, and it was a cat.
It was
a
an
kaiju
Agora?
cat.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I was like,
Was it a Kaiju Negora?
yeah, it was a
She has
kaiju
mini
Negora.
skills.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Well, what could I say? Good taste runs
Yeah.
in the show.
Enablers, all of us.
Definitely enablers. Okay, well, let's go ahead and we're almost at 3 hours, so this is the perfect time for me to close the show. Join us next month. Actually, join us next week, I think, for a supplemental, again, with Sean Lincolnback, talking about the new website. More on that will show up in the group. If you're not part of the Collectible Monster Collector group, it's on Facebook, and you want to join that, go for it. We'd love to have you there. Just make sure you agree to the rules. And in the meantime, let's say the next full episode will be May 16th. We're going to focus on Mothra. It'll be a Mothra marathon. I'm sure I'll come up with lots of alliteration for that. But Donnie Winters should be joining us for that particular episode.
Excellent.
May 16th. Okay, this is the time where I say, where is my little guy here? Where is it? Anyway, until next time, our planet may be doomed, our Earth devastated, the monsters are in revolt, and civilization is in chaos. Together we must unite and collect all
monsters. Yes.
See you guys.
Thanks, Gretchen.